Presented by Horns and Hooves Entertainment. You're watching Bob Hansen, Tom Muchak, Sean O'Malley, Adam Fitzgerald, and Andy Van Meer. You still up? Live. It's Buffalo After Dark.
All right. Welcome to Buffalo After Dark, everybody. It is Thursday night, June 17th. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about over the next 1 to 2 hours, but let's introduce everybody as we usually do. Mr. Bobby Hansen, our Long Island ginger hammer son of a bitch. How are you?
Yeah, thank you for having me. And first off, my hair's not fucking red. It's blonde, you asshole. That's all I'm saying.
All right. And then of course we got Trevor, show contributor from the Hour Hour podcast down in Fredonia. How you doing?
Hanging in there, guys. Hope you guys doing all right.
Cool. And then of course we got this guy in the bottom corner here, Andy. How's it going?
Good. Ready for some more NHL playoffs coming underway right now.
Let's go, Islanders!
Yes, indeed. Let's go, Islanders.
Yeah, your Avalanche got their asses kicked by the Golden Knights.
It happened,
pick, man. They were my pick to win it all. I was so shocked that they lost to Vegas. I thought they had enough firepower to take it into the finals and kill any team that was in their way because they were just looking so good in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, but they lacked toughness. They were lacking a lot of toughness. I mean, Kadri gone, that was even worse.
Yeah, give it to Vegas, though. I mean, they came back, especially after that Game 1 blowout.
Yeah, I even said Vegas was going to come back. I even said that once they just get
I knew it was going to get Yeah, it was definitely going to get tougher once Fleury came back in, but I thought they would at least take it to 7. But, it is what it is. They got to get tougher. They got manhandled in those last 2-3 games.
Yeah.
Well, I could certainly say one thing, and that is that the Avalanche are now the new equivalent, at least in this conversation, the Western Conference equivalent of the Washington Capitals.
Yeah, they'll get there, though. They'll get there.
Except Washington won a cup over the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and the Avs just started rebuilding 4 years ago, entering year 5.
They'll get there.
They are where we should have been when we drafted Jack Eichel. We should be having very similar success, but we have in the higher-ups just people that decide to fuck everything up, a.k.a. Terry and Kim and all the head coaches that came through the past 6 years, and blah, blah, blah. And now we're going through another rebuild.
And Trevor, you already know my answer to this because I agreed with you on your show a year ago when you had me on. I was the only person on your show to ever say it was that his wife is a gold digger, and it still stands to this day.
Total gold digger, and she's a complete dumb fuck of a human being. And you're not the only one to say that. I've said that on my show too. Guarantee you Tom said that. Mitch Martin over here probably said it. And hell, probably Sean, who's wearing the Seattle Kraken jersey right now. He's probably saying Kim Pagula is a dumbass too.
Yeah!
I mean, with the way the Sabres been going, I wouldn't be. What would I say? Anything else? So how you gentlemen doing?
Hey, good. Hey, Trevor, I think it was like episode 40 or 41 where I went off in like a total I just totally really went off to the point where everyone's like, whoa, it's like I didn't know you could drop an F-bomb on here. It's like, yeah, you can.
And there was one game that was it the Philly game where we got swept? Oh no, it was like the mini sweep against Philly where we didn't score a single goal at home. Tom and I did a show on here. I don't know if it was on Facebook or whatever, but we were on here just bashing the living hell out of the Sabres. It was great.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, actually, we were live. I think we did a live show for a little bit. I remember this. It was a Sunday because we didn't have because I know we either had like Bills football later in the day or I think we were playing like primetime or something like that. And I remember the two of us, we just came on and we just bashed them for a good hour and a half straight. So
yeah, because they deserve every bit of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
the team is in shambles, and nobody's discussing that. Well, I mean, Paul Hamilton's shooting his mouth off, but I mean, we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot to break down, but I was telling the boys earlier, we're gonna have a new trend on the show, and that is we have all the hockey news in one segment. We go all hockey, and then we all put football in the other section. Because from the last episode, what Sean and I did, Sean and Adam, we remember, Sean, when we were talking about the Chicago Bears, about how they were possibly up for sale, and Jeff Bezos was interested in buying the Bears.
Yep, I remember.
There's actually what were you gonna say?
Yeah, that was a little shocker for me, since technically I do work for the guy.
Yes,
Yeah,
and we actually have more to add to this, but we'll get to that later. So I'm prepared for it.
Yeah, but let's get right into hockey. And I mean, the biggest thing that's come up, especially over the last couple of weeks, I mean, Jack Eichel, we all know the situation. There's speculation he wants out. We're pretty confident he really does want out. And of course, the Sabres do not want to let him have his neck surgery that he's requesting to have. So one of the things that we've been thinking about are some of the possible trade speculation rumors. And there were actually several good ones that came out recently, including with Anaheim, with New Jersey, and also a couple other teams. So what I'm going to do is, Bobby, I'm going to let you take the floor on this, and let's talk through some of the speculative deals, and let's see what we got.
Okay, well, as we're speaking, I actually do have a video about this being uploaded on my YouTube channel at Buffalo Bobcats, so you can watch that individually. But because we're on a live show, I figured, you know what, fuck it, I may as well just do it. So earlier in the day, we all know about the Jack Eichel rumors, and I know this is going to affect Sean down the road because he is a Seattle Kraken fan. You're gonna understand in a bit why I'm talking about this. So, so reports came out today, right, from Pierre LeBrun and Elliot Friedman, but Friedman was Friedman was doing most of the talking, but LeBron was adding more to this. So last week or a couple of days ago, Pierre LeBrun said that things are starting to heat up between Jack Eichel and the Buffalo Sabres regarding a trade. And there was speculation that there was more than one team interested in his service. And one of those teams just so happened to be Anaheim, LA, Columbus, Philly, Minnesota, and the New York Rangers. I've mentioned the Rangers before as a front runner. I've also mentioned the Kings at one point. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Elliot Friedman was on the Instigators earlier this morning. I think it was with the guys like Andrew Peters and Greg Bay. I'm not really sure. But so supposedly the Sabres and the Ducks, as we speak, are working on a trade. And supposedly the talks are that the Buffalo Sabres would be trading Jack Eichel to the Anaheim Ducks, and the Sabres might get possibly the 3rd overall pick in the upcoming NHL draft. And they might also possibly get either Jamie Drysdale or Trevor Zegras in a trade involving Jack Eichel to Buffalo. And there's also been all kinds of talk back and forth and whatever. And Sam Reinhart's name came up too, but that was just like, they're not going to get Reinhart. They're more interested in Eichel. And if a trade were to happen, think about this, Sean, because I mentioned this earlier as a Seattle Kraken fan, for your perspective, your division rival, your future division rival is going to have Jack Eichel on there.
Man, that's something.
Yeah, think about that. The Kraken versus the Ducks, starring Jack Eichel.
Yep.
You know what, guys?
Man.
If Jack Eichel played under a good head coach, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Well, then again, when you go to Anaheim and Dallas Eakins is there, then I really wouldn't be changing my mind about all that. But the point I'm trying to make is the Ducks are in the middle of this conversation with the team, and they're trying to just figure this out now. And Jeremy White, who I think is the equivalent of CNN because he's full of shit sometimes, comes out today and he says, oh, a trade might come out within a few days, if not sooner than weeks. And I'm just thinking, all right, Jeremy, you're full of shit. We know you are. You're a honcho wannabe. Shut the fuck up. Let them do their job. Because in any other normal year, we would be in the middle of this conversation, and this would be during the draft. That I can understand. But in the middle of June, and there's conference finals games going on right now, and we're talking about an Eichel trade. Like, it's almost unheard of. And then we're now at the point where we have to basically admit what kind of deal could possibly come through for Jack Eichel to Anaheim at this point.
No, I think Zegras has to be one of them. If he's not offered, if the Anaheim GM is not offering him for Jack Eichel, that is when Kevin Adams hangs up the phone and looks at another team. I think he has what it takes to be a solid player in the Buffalo organization if they get a decent head coach, whether that's Granato or Boudreau or whoever you want. And obviously the third overall pick, those are intriguing, but since the odds that Eichel gets traded to an Eastern Conference team are low, and I was hoping that it could have been the Rangers because I love their prospect pool and I love Mika Zibanejad and the idea of Capo Caco coming to Buffalo, I think Anaheim's a perfect fit.
Nope. I don't want to hear Eichel to the Rangers. Fuck no. I don't want that. Because you have to remember something, Trevor. I live in Long Island. I am surrounded by Ranger fans. You know how many
Ranger
people
fans,
come up?
I live in New York too, and I would go to those games where the Ranger faithful would come to the KeyBank Center, and they were annoying as shit, but holy hell, like, look at their prospect pool. It's arguably one of the best and most developed in the league so far.
I agree with you, but that's not the point. My favorite team is about to trade Jack Eichel and goes to the Rangers, okay?
Just ignore him.
If you think going to Buffalo with Ranger fans is bad, go to Madison Square Garden, goddammit.
Yo, I can live with
it.
I'm an Astros fan that lives in New York that's surrounded by a bunch of Yankee fans. I think you can survive.
There's nothing compared to that, though. It's like the equivalent of watching Josh Allen in a Patriots jersey.
No, it's
gosh, come on.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. At least to me.
Just
that is blasphemy.
Think of the return that we could get. We can get the Holy Grail and then some.
You can get that with Anaheim too. Just got to work them a little.
And LA, because Alex Turcotte is.
LA is they're gonna be out of the running. They're not that in as much as you think you are.
Well, I can certainly tell you
not
a reporter from Elliot Freeman was saying the guy who wrote that story about LA being out on Jack Eichel was lying. So they are in the race. But
he didn't say he was lying. He said that most likely, I mean, anything can happen, but if it's coming from that guy and that source who's deep with the LA Kings, that it's probably true. They're probably not going to be fully in on it.
Well,
I'm sure they've made phone calls, but people are making calls and they're probably, they're getting what they want for it. And they're probably like, okay, well, preliminary talks, at least I know what you want. And that's probably as far as it might have gone.
Right. And I actually have a quote regarding that comment. And Freeman said this earlier on the Instigators. Quote, there are people that think that the Los Angeles Kings are completely lying about being out on Jack Eichel.
It could be.
So, in other words, I mean, come on. The Kings reportedly are not giving up Alex Turcotte, and they're certainly not giving up Quentin Byfield. But that's the problem. The Kings are too stubborn. They won't give up either one of them in a trade. And the Sabres are going to ask for those two.
You have to give up at least one. You have to give up at least one. Whether it's Byfield or Turcotte, I would rather take Byfield. I had a gun to my head. I'd say Eichel for Byfield straight up.
Yeah, but the Kings won't do it. But you know deep down that's not going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
I think it would make more sense to put him on Anaheim than it would be for Los Angeles. But what about a deal like Minnesota? I mean, I know we're going all over the place here about this, but considering the opportunities and the possibilities of a Jack Eichel trade to another team, like there was talks of Patrick Laine being brought up in a trade for Eichel. There was possibilities of Matthew Dumba being brought up in a trade for Jack Eichel. There was all kinds of possibilities. How about the Flyers? The Flyers were brought up. The Rangers were brought up. I would even bring up, and I forgot to mention one team, the Seattle Kraken. They were actually bringing up on Jack Eichel.
What do they have that we can trade for except the second overall pick? What else would they have?
Well,
I'm sure they could probably get future picks.
Well,
number ones. How about 4 number ones? They're not going anywhere in a few years.
4 consecutive number ones like the movie Draft Day? Yeah, 3 consecutive number 1 picks.
That'd be like the old days of San Jose and Tampa when they first came in the league in like 90-91. Basically, you suck for the first 5 years.
But here's what I was going to say. I was going to say this. If the Kraken are serious about getting Jack Eichel in any way, shape, or form, and I think Sean knows an idea about what I'm going to say here, is if you're going to trade for Jack Eichel, I would wait until at least 24 hours after the expansion draft, because then by that point, you have an idea who you're going to have on your roster. And then right afterwards, you have the NHL entry draft where the Sabres are obviously going number 1 and the Kraken are going number 2. And most likely, in my opinion, if this is the odds, they're probably going to take Matthew Beniers out of Michigan. That's just what I think. But if the Kraken are smart, and I know they are because it's Ron Francis, I would probably say just hold off on the roster, wait a little while. And I know it's frustrating. Just wait till after July 21st because that's the night of the draft for at least from expansion per se. And then once you have the players, make a side deal with Buffalo. Maybe have something like, we'll give you a second or whatever we have for Eichel or something like that. There's all kinds of possibilities that Seattle could be in the mix for this.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
They could. They could use a star player as a forefront. Selling, you got to think, selling tickets, selling jerseys, all the merchandise, got a big name in there, but I don't know if he's got to know that no trade clause doesn't come in yet, but can you imagine him going to an expansion team and wasting more years there?
Well, let's be honest, Andy. Nobody thought the Golden Knights were going to be good the first year. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
For all we know, that could have just been an anomaly because the Sharks, when they entered the league for the first time, were god-awful. The Senators, when they came in 1994, terrible.
Did you see that great video about the Ottawa Senators?
I have not seen that video, but I was going to say, the Senators and the Sharks were really, really bad in their first year.
Yeah, Tampa was unwatchable.
Vegas may just be one of those teams where it's like
they got
1 in a million chance of getting good happens, and they finally just get good.
Yeah,
right. It may just be like a 1 in a million thing.
Right, but Sean, what do you think though? If for some reason, based off of what I was just saying to everybody, do you think that by any means of the imagination that if the Kraken were smart after obviously the expansion draft and then leading up to the NHL draft, do you think it would be a good idea if they were to just hold off until they have an idea of what they genuinely have and then make a trade for Eichel?
I'm not opposed to it, but at the same time, I feel like by the time they do, it might be too late. He might end up with another team.
It's possible. Keep an eye on him because, he might be going to LA, he might be going to Anaheim, and those are right near Seattle. So you might have a new player on the rise in your division. So keep an eye on that.
And what's going to be really interesting is Jack Eichel probably wants to get, if he's going to get traded, he wants to get traded as early as possible so he could get settled in, situated in his new city before training camp starts.
And whatever surgery he wants to get done too.
Exactly. So trading him at July 21st, I think that's a little late. So whatever is on the money line right now, whatever's on the Vegas line, I think the best odds where Eichel goes as of right now, as of today, is the Anaheim Ducks.
I agree. Anaheim, to me, it just makes too much sense for him to go elsewhere because it's already being labeled out by Elliot Freeman that they're in the deep discussions already. Jeremy White is claiming that he could be traded any day now, or right now during the show. It's very possible. But, this whole thing, there's going to be more information coming out, but it's very clear that Jack Eichel is not coming back next year. It's very obvious. Right. Now, I have a very interesting question. In spite of all that happening, what happens to the captaincy? Do you give it to Rasmus Dahlin, or do you give it to someone that's a little bit older on the roster? What do you do? Do you hold on to it for a little while?
Name a captain? Do like they did a few years ago. Don't name a captain.
Yeah.
Go with core system.
One.
Yeah. Let's earn it.
Yep.
I keep hearing Dahlin might be the captain if they choose him.
No. I don't think you give it to him just yet. Because he's still trying to reach his ceiling. His ceiling is still rising every single year. And I don't think you give it to Kyle Oposo either. I don't think he really has earned a promotion going from the A to the C. I think you either switch it up, maybe have 3 assistant captains, and have a captain per night any given game, or you just don't have any at all.
It's very possible. Again, it's too early to tell, and it's 1-0 Lightning. Yanni Gorge just scored. Fuck.
Yep.
So, like I said, there's going to be a lot of information coming out about Jack Eichel very, very soon. And today was a good day for information to come out, so it's pretty clear that Anaheim is going to get Jack Eichel, but it's just a matter of time, or it depends on what team is willing to give up what Buffalo wants.
And you know what? Good for the Ducks. If they're going to go through with this, good for them, because they're going to be instant contenders if they get Jack Eichel, no matter who they give up. And the Sabres aren't going to be giving Jack Eichel the Ryan Miller treatment anymore, and he actually has a true shot at a Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm. He does, but Anaheim's a rebuilding team, though. That's the problem. Anaheim is still rebuilding. They just started it, and giving up your top 3 pick for a guy like Eichel, I think, might accelerate your rebuild. But the Ducks have a lot of older guys on the wrong side of 30 who have injury issues, and they got to just really accommodate with it. I mean, will it keep Eichel happy? I don't know. Probably not, but the Buffalo Sabres have full control of his contract right now, and they don't have to hold on to him. They can just trade him out if they wanted to. And I think that's what the route is looking like.
Yeah, as much as it pains me to say it, like, I'm going to look out for Eichel as a player because I feel so bad for him. He's just a great player stuck in a bad team. And I want to see him be successful somewhere else, most likely West Coast. I don't want to see him tear up the Eastern Conference and be like, oh my God, like, why do we just make that trade in the Eastern Conference? But hopefully wherever he goes, he does a good job, except if he goes to like Toronto or Boston or something like that. Then I'll hope he sucks forever.
We'll find out down the road. That's all I can say.
Yeah, because who knows what's going to go on, if he's even going to be the same player after whatever gets done with his neck. I mean, we could totally fleece this team that we trade with.
True, but that MMA fighter that had that surgery said he felt like a new man after that. So,
it hasn't been done on any sports players in the NHL and football or baseball or anything like that. So, I'm on the side of the Sabres. It's iffy. I wouldn't do it if it hasn't been done yet. But, they're going to talk to other teams' doctors and doctors out on the West Coast. And who knows? Maybe they got a doctor that thinks, hey, I can do this surgery. It ain't going to be that bad. Here you go. You'll be fine. Who knows?
It's definitely a sticky situation, but, like, I think if Jack Eichel is your true face of the franchise, you at least consider it, or maybe have a meeting with Eichel with the Pagulas or something. Oh, wait, no, they're never in Buffalo. They're hiding in their house in Boca Raton.
Right.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's we're the Pagulas. Come into our nice little $500 million yacht and our nice little mansion. Come on in and have like some of the finest wine. And then we'll tell you how great the Buffalo Sabres are. Oh, they're actually playoff contenders, and they've actually gone to the playoffs every year for the last 10 years. Yeah, right.
I got the freaking Beyond Blue and Gold episode playing on loop in my head where delusional Terry, fucking says, oh, Taylor Hall's going to make us an instant Stanley Cup contender.
It wasn't going to make us. I have that
playing on loop in my head.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me about that because they didn't have the tools here. The first thing that they screwed up was last year by taking Eichel and Skinner off the same line, thinking that Skinner was going to be great on line 2 or line 3, which we knew that was never going to happen. And then thinking that Tage Thompson is like a second or third line player. What are they thinking? And it kind of goes back to when Ralph Kruger was here, and Ralph Kruger totally deserved to be fired, and he should have been fired half a season earlier.
Jeff Skinner totally hustled us, showed us 40 goal scorer, all-star player, pay me. Oh, 11 goals the following year.
Yeah.
Oh, 5 goals the following year. He hustled us. That is, like, I was so pissed off at him last year.
Yeah, literally.
What a hustle job from Jeff.
Yep.
It's tough. It's tough to swallow.
Yeah.
And, so before we go on our little misfit thing, I actually do have some information about the Seattle Kraken because I actually have a few pieces of information. So I think Sean should really see what's happening here. And if you guys are ready, I am ready to tell you the story. So here we go. So it is being reported by the Buffalo Sabres, or at least by John Vogel. He's reporting that if the Buffalo Sabres, when the Kraken go up to pick a player from them, the one player that is being targeted, and at least the heavy favorites to go to Seattle, is Rasmus Asplund to go to Seattle. What do you think?
No, don't get rid of him.
Well, I'd rather get rid of Rasmus Asplund than Arttu Ruotsalainen.
Absolutely.
Yep. And then what else did I find on here today? Oh, here we go. And speaking of the Seattle Kraken, because, again, we're on this topic, the Kraken are talking to 2 coaches. The Kraken are talking about, according to Ian Furness, I believe I said his name, is reporting that John Tortorella may be a very strong possibility for the Seattle Kraken, and the team is focused on analytics.
Oh my God! Give me a fucking break. Okay, then just hire Ralph Kruger then.
Oh gosh, no thanks.
God. No, don't put Mr. Bum and Matt through round 2 of that.
Screw that, bro. I don't want to go through that nightmare again. Come on.
Yeah, enough. We already lived here at Buffalo for a year and a half.
The worst coach in Sabres history. Changed my mind. Worst head coach in Sabres history.
Ron Ralston.
It's just amazing what to think of what this team is doing.
Yeah. The moves that this fucking organization makes, man.
I mean, you got to understand, we were 17-6-2 and like 3 years ago, and it just crumbled. 9-1 and 9-2 and something else another year. It's like, what's going on that this keeps falling apart?
10-game win streak here, a 9 or an 8-1-1 start here, and then it just crumbles. And then last year we weren't even competitive from the start.
Exactly. And then what happens is that what am I thinking today? I'm like all over the place. But no, it's like Granato. He ends up coming in and he tended to at least get the team winning a little bit, but come on. I mean, it was too little too late.
Yep. And the other piece of news, and this is considering with John Tortorella too, is Elliot Freeman of Sportsnet. Oh, you gotta love this guy. He says, quote, "There's definitely some momentum with Rick Tocchet and the Seattle Kraken, but there's no indication of a final decision that's been made, and had to wonder if GM Ron Francis would want to talk to his old friend Paul Maurice, but the Jets indicate that he is likely returning back to Winnipeg."
That's a good fit. Rick Tocchet in Seattle, I think with that young group of team, or just the young group of new players that they're getting, especially from these young players in the expansion draft. Tocchet almost turned the Coyotes into a playoff team when they had Kessel and who they have, like Galchenyuk too. They were so close to making the playoffs a couple years ago. But I think he'll have better success with new expansion in Seattle. Because Arizona was going through their own stuff back then. I mean, Arizona was already a really bad team. We don't know what Seattle is quite yet.
Right. And the Seattle Kraken are probably going to pick their first coach before the draft. So I would suspect probably by the end of the month in June. Probably by the end of June, we're going to find out who the Kraken's next head coach is. But as of what it's sounding like, because they seem like they're really taking their time on this, I strongly believe that it's going to be Rick Tocchet. But then again, it could be John Tortorella. It could be Bruce Boudreau. Because keep in mind, the Kraken were in on Gerard Gallant, who coincidentally got freaking hired by the New York Rangers on Monday. Fuck my life, man.
The Kraken get Bruce Boudreau. They are automatic contenders. I don't give a shit.
Right. Boudreau's good with a young core too. I mean, and he's proven that before. I mean, that's why I almost want him here in Buffalo, just because I think he could really help take the current core to the next level and then help us get back to the playoffs. But I mean, I like Rick Tocchet for a lot of reasons, and I mean, he definitely played with some tough teams. I mean, he played with the Flyers, Kings, the Bruins, the Caps. I mean, he played with the Coyotes also, played with the Pens. I mean, he knows what it takes to win. And the fact that he can coach young cores and actually get a lot out of them, which he was able to do in Arizona, given the circumstances, I mean, he could actually be a very good fit for what Seattle may end up doing. So I would have no problem with that. I mean, if it was me just thinking about the Buffalo coaching search right at the moment, which we'll talk about that in a little bit, if I had to choose between Granato and Boudreau, I personally like Boudreau a little bit more. But, I mean, there are some positives with Granato, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. Adam, he's here.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Good. We're actually in the middle of talking about the Seattle Kraken because there's been speculation they may end up hiring Rick Tocchet as the coach, but they also have indicated about looking at John Tortorella as in for analytics, but there's no clear-cut winner who the Kraken are going to hire.
Okay, well, just steer away from John Tortorella. My God, what a way to start your franchise.
That is what I'm saying, bro. Nobody else agrees with me. John Tortorella is a punk. He's a prick. He's not a good coach.
I like
what a way to ruin your fucking players right off the hop. Yeah, why not? Go at it, see it'll crack, and we'll see how long you last.
Yep. Well, like I said, we won't know dick about the Kraken as far as coaching and players until the end of this month and then in July, of course, which we're probably going to have a live show about the expansion draft anyway. So we're all probably going to just get together on July 21st for that draft. So I'm excited, man. I mean, we'll get to see this guy rocking his Kraken jersey, and it'd be like, oh my God, I can't wait. We can finally pick players.
You'll see me bitch and complain about how bad the Sabres are, just like what I do on my show all the time.
Trevor, you bitch about everything, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Well, he ain't rocking bits, but
Yeah. Sure.
Hey, Adam, what kind of weed you got today?
actually, I just took the first hoot of Northern Lights. What's it called? Northern Lights Kush. Northern Lights Kush.
What? Is that French?
No, Northern Lights Kush.
Northern Lights push. Okay.
Kush.
Oh, Kush.
K-U-S-H.
You obviously know what fucking weed is. You never heard of weed in your fucking life.
I know he landscapes all day. He's never heard of that kind of plant. Who knew?
It doesn't mean I've never smoked it. I've smoked weed before, but not for a while.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. Actually, just to give everyone a little bit of insight of what Adam's smoking here, Northern Lights is one of the most famous and sought after indica strains of all time. Considered a descendant of Afghani and Thai Iandris strains, the exact origin of Northern Lights remains a bit of a mystery. It may have originated in Washington in the 1970s prior to reaching the Netherlands, where breeder Neville Schoenmaker pioneered several Northern Lights phenotypes in the 80s for the seed bank. So apparently it's around at least since that time, and it's pretty potent stuff. So that's basically that's basically one of those things. They say it's earthy, spicy, herbal, and flowery. And it's designed to make you relaxed and have a happy high.
Oh, God. It doesn't feel too good going down, though.
That's like me and like Bacardi Orange. That stuff just makes me want to puke.
No, it's just the what do you call it? Oh yeah.
Dude, you just remember to blow out. Don't suck it all in, man.
Oh, you know the saying, man. When you're a stoner, the more you cough, the more you get off.
Damn straight.
Nice. So we got a couple comments too, real quick. So Chris Lasky is saying that Kraken, so he's definitely in for it. And then we've had a couple people watching so far. So of course, anyone who wants to jump in, give us a call. We'll talk to you. We don't bite. 929-205-6099. Meeting ID and passcode are all in the comments.
They're all a bunch of pussies. They won't fucking call in.
Hey, now. Never know who might call in.
I'm gonna jinx it, but no hitter alert between the Braves and the Cardinals.
Okay.
Okay.
Now,
Cardinals have been no hit through 6 innings.
Yeah.
That was not no hitter. Way to go, Trevor. Way to
There
go.
you go.
All right, fellas.
Keeping you guys
Quick
up.
question here, fellas.
What's up?
All right, we got Jack Eichel going to the Ducks, okay?
Quack.
Right.
Gordon Bond.
You're getting
Jack Eichel.
You're getting Zegras. You're getting the 3rd overall as well. And you're getting, like maybe 2 other players and maybe another pick down the line.
Okay.
Question. You got that 3rd overall pick. Who are you going to take with that?
William Eklund.
Question.
Good pick, Bobby.
I agree.
Because I would just assume by this point the Kraken take Matthew Beniers.
If Beniers falls to 3, spoon feed me that.
Please, Kraken. Please fuck this up.
I don't think they're
Please
going
pass up on Matthew Beniers.
I don't think they're going to, but Eklund's probably your best bet on that one.
Right.
Yeah, I would think so. What about what's that guy's name? Fuck. Is it Simon something Edmondson or
Simon Edmondson?
Yeah. Okay, so I may have just said it right then. So I
Yeah,
would
he's
take
not
him.
fucking French.
Yeah, I would take him, but I'm leaning towards more Eklund if this is the case for Buffalo. They have to play smart here. That's the only thing. If they're going to trade Eichel for that number 3 pick, you have to play smart with who you draft. That's just me, though.
I mean, if you think about it, you get Power at 1, you get Eklund at 3, you get the top American skater, North American skater, and then you get Eklund, you get the top international skater. So it's not really all that bad.
No, it's really
honest with you.
Away from French.
And the cupboards are bared down with forwards. We don't have a lot of forwards in the pipeline. Very defensive heavy.
For sure.
Just stay away from French players, man. They're a bunch of fucking pussies.
Don't you have a few French players? Oh, wait, that's the Montreal Canadiens.
Good one, Bobby. Oh, good.
Adam, did you see my name?
I'm not even gonna fucking look. So
check it out.
Bitch.
Look at it.
You bitch.
Yeah, this is good. So one name I think we should all consider looking at here, not that I don't think the Sabres are going to be in anywhere near the conversation, is Dougie Hamilton's name has been kicked around a little bit lately, and it's being reported by Elliot Freeman that the Carolina Hurricanes have given Dougie Hamilton permission to negotiate with other teams with a sign and trade deal. And now the teams that are in the mix are the Flyers, the Oilers, the Jets, the Blue Jackets, and the Devils. And then of all the teams that stood out, New Jersey makes the most sense.
If this was 10 years ago, I would have told you that I actually gave a shit. But Dougie Hamilton's kind of washed.
Yep. Okay, and here's another thing from Freeman. He's reporting, too, that the other thing about all this is that it allows Hamilton to see if the Hurricanes do make the best offer for him, potentially allowing him for a return if he does not like what he sees out there, which is a very interesting maneuver by a team and a player, which is very rare these days. So the Canes are giving him an option, saying, hey, look, listen, we'll let you go and talk to other teams, but if you don't like what you see, come back to us, and then we'll discuss the deal. And then that's basically what's happening here. And it seems like to me New Jersey is pretty spot on with what they want to have here.
Well, you know, I'll say this. I'll say that the same thing Trevor said. Washed up fucking player. Yep. He's going to go out in the trade market, and everyone's going to be like, no, you're asking way too much. And then he's going to crawl back to Carolina for like $5 million less.
Yep.
Exactly. Like I told you, if this was 10 years ago, it would have been like, Dougie Hamilton's on the move? Like, that dude's so good. Well, 10 years later, he's washed. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a mediocre at best at this point.
Yeah. And while we're on the topic of the Hurricanes, did any of you, aside from myself, have seen the leaked Carolina Hurricane Stadium Series jerseys?
I've not.
You have not. All right, Trevor. I'll send it to you real quick.
It's not bad.
So, are they the home team? Are we saying that a team in Raleigh, North Carolina, is playing outside?
Yep, they're projected to get home ice advantage in 2022 for a Stadium Series game.
That is so stupid. It's gonna be like 80 degrees.
Well,
it's so shitty they won't even be able to skate on it.
I don't mind these jerseys, really. I don't.
I'll send it to Adam so that way I don't forget.
Yeah,
they kind of look like they kind of remind me of Chicago's jerseys a little bit.
Yeah, or you could just look at a Buffalo After Dark chat and then give your opinion on it.
I've seen it. I saw it before you even seen it.
It's exactly why I fucking brought it up, Adam.
Where are they playing anywhere? Are they playing at Bank of America Stadium where the Panthers play?
Oh, I don't know, man.
That's in Charlotte, right? That's in Charlotte.
When they play in Bank of America in Charlotte, that would be insane. I'm going to look it up for you, Trevor.
I'd love to see it. I'd really love to see it, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to work out that well with, like, you know, the temperatures and how shitty. If you look at a outdoor game in Canada, like, the ice is shitty enough, but you put a fucking game in Carolina, like, you know.
Yep. So, Trevor, to answer your question about where this game is taking place, according to Wikipedia, it says this: the 2022 NHL Stadium Series game in the upcoming regular season in 21-22 will be played at Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is located across the street.
Okay.
What's the coldest time in North Carolina?
There isn't. There isn't.
It's gonna be 50. It's gonna be 60 degrees and raining in that game.
How do they do it in Dallas?
Oh,
They-
God.
They barely figured that out. They had like refrigeration.
Yeah, they're gonna
systems
have to do
for
the
the
same.
squad. Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna have like a lot more though. They're gonna need like every refrigeration system in the fucking planet to keep that fucking going.
Right.
Sean, you see the Hurricanes jersey, Sean?
No, I haven't.
I just sent you the pictures through you personally, so you can take a look at
let
it.
me check. I'll check.
Buffalo could use another one.
Buffalo,
Yeah, we
Definitely.
could use another one.
Buffalo will never get a Stadium Series game, ever.
No, start
Why?
by getting.
Why wouldn't we?
They're gonna
Why
get a
wouldn't
Winter Classic eventually.
Right.
We had the first one ever. Why wouldn't we?
Well, I went to the 110. I went to the one a few years ago. Did I ever tell you that?
What? When
Well, I
the one
remember
versus
you
the
did.
Rangers?
The one that when they played the Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you something. Here, hopefully the camera can face me so I can show you. Look at this. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a picture on the left right here. There's me and my fiance with the ticket that I sat at in the Winter Classic in 2018 at Citi Field.
Okay.
I went to the one in 2008. I was 7 years old.
7 years old, so that made me in 2018. So what? I'm 28. So
Oh wow.
yeah, what do you think of them? Those are the Carolina Hurricanes Stadium Series jerseys.
Yeah.
Wait.
Nice.
Wait,
It looks like they look like Chicago's alternate jersey.
Yeah, it does.
In a way,
Yeah.
in some sort of sense, yes.
Yeah. Weird thing about that stadium too is it seats about 57,000. It's right next door to PNC Arena. Home of the
Who plays there?
home of
Like
NC
a college
State.
team?
Yeah, NC State.
NC State?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
It's pretty cool. What do you think,
It's
Sean?
so stupid idea. It's so stupid.
Yeah, what do you think of the jersey, Sean?
Just dumb all the way around. It's all dumb. It's just dumb.
Yeah. What do you think, Sean, of the jersey?
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I definitely like that red and black aspect of it.
Well, that jersey got leaked on eBay by some asshole. I don't know his name, but it was leaked out. So I figured I'd just say, oh, okay, cool.
And
So
no
let me
surprise, everything gets leaked these days, so I'm not surprised.
listen. It's not all that bad because that jersey to me is ugly as shit. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Not though. I've seen so many worse jerseys. I'm like the charging banana jersey. That's pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
The Sabres,
The slug jersey.
Yeah, you think
they
that,
didn't have one bad season. They really didn't have one bad season wearing those jerseys. Like they were consistently getting 92 points with that uniform.
Yeah. You want to know something that's really shitty? That stupid reverse retro jersey the Maple Leafs currently have.
No, the Red Wings one is way fucking worse.
I
Yeah,
actually
but
like
leave
the
it
pure
around.
white with the red. I like pure white. Looks good.
My
Same with the
favorite-
stars. The pure white and with the green. Looks
the
sharp.
one that gets a bad rep is the Columbus Blue Jackets. A lot of people hate that one. I actually like that
Okay.
one. I like that
It's
one.
getting worse.
It's okay.
Oh, it could be a lot worse. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at a signed Line A jersey with that reverse retro. It wasn't bad.
Oh, that would have been beautiful. You copped that.
Ugh, I've been copping so many lately.
Yeah.
My favorite one is Calgary's. Calgary's is my favorite.
Yeah, I like the horse. It's pretty cool.
I love that flaming horse. It's fucking
Great.
Yeah.
I love it. A lot of people hate it. I love it.
I like it.
I forget the name of the horse. Like for
I do
the
too.
yeah, I'll look it up for you because I know the Flames. I know that Flames jersey at
Bobby gives me shit all the time because I like that New York Islanders fucking jersey with the captain.
Oh, the fisherman?
Yeah,
I
the
have it. I have
did
it.
find it back in the day.
Fisherman that was iconic.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm a
Oh,
newbie.
God, don't make him go get it again.
Yeah. I honestly
Yo,
have no
anyone
issue
who
with
watches
it back then.
this show, how many times have you seen this? Put it in the comments.
I don't
How
know.
many times have you seen this
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
uniform?
Every time I see that jersey, I think of Roberto Luongo.
When I think of this jersey, I think of Brian Berard and Ziggy Palfy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Ziggy Palfy.
Right. But I still remember when the Capitals
I have his hockey jersey.
jerseys back that time also. When they had like that mean ass eagle on the front.
I love those old Washington Capitals jerseys. I love those.
Yo, Ziggy Palfy, I have his LA Kings card wearing the old purple jersey. Not the one with the yellow crown on it, but the one with like the emblem, and I don't really know how to explain it, but it was like purple. It had like black sleeves.
Yeah, the purple and black jerseys.
Yeah. That one was nice.
You know what's really getting annoying, specifically by the NHL in general, and if you're lucky to find them, is I've been looking everywhere for the last, I want to say 2-3 days. I've been looking for the reverse Sabres retro jersey in my size. I wear a 56. And normally I told this to Sean as a good advice. And I said to him, if you're ever going to wear a hockey jersey or any sport for that matter, always get a jersey that's double your size. Because if you get, let's say, if you're an XL and you get an XL, it feels small. So you always want to get one that's a lot smaller, that's a lot bigger than you in perspective. Like I'm a 2XL. This is a 2XL, or this is actually an XL, but it's a CCM jersey. But it still fits me. I wear it. It's comfortable. But anybody, like Sean's jersey is a 2XL jersey, and he loves it because I actually watched him unravel that jersey for the first time ever on Instagram. And I just so happened to steal that video and edit it out and put my own commentary on it and put it up on Buffalo After Dark's YouTube channel.
Yep.
Yeah, all donations go to Sean because Bobby stole the video. all the donations go to
Here's
Sean.
your donation.
Copyright infringement.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. It's one of our lost episodes.
No, this one's got to go on YouTube. This one's got to go on YouTube.
Yeah, this one obviously.
Yeah, it's not. Without a doubt,
I'm gonna rip Rob Manfred a new one on this show, and it has to go on YouTube.
Yeah, we actually promised Trevor, by the way, we actually have a segment we want to talk about that Trevor wants to rip a new asshole on about.
Yeah.
Please do it.
A lot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Freaking
MLB
please do it.
So corrupt. MLB is so corrupt. Rob Manfred's the biggest clown in all of sports except for Roger Goodell. And we will get into that in a little bit, absolutely.
Yep. And the last topic
yes.
And the last few I actually want to get to real quick, and then we'll talk about it, as I promised Trevor, and then we'll get to football afterwards. So the first big news from Steven from the NHL is Stephen Johns, who is currently a UFA, is retiring from the sport of hockey due to depression, and he's going to be doing charity work across the country. It will be rollerblading around the United States to help people with depression. So apparently Stephen Johns has been dealing with some form of mental illness, and he can no longer hesitate within the game of hockey. So he's retiring at 28 years old, and he's going to be doing a lot of work for kids across the country who are dealing with depression.
I think it is? Sad thing to say.
What?
CTE. I think he's one of the early onset patients of chronic traumatic encephalopathy. I think it's called CTE. So
you can't prove that until you're dead.
Well, yeah, but I mean, going from young NHL player to now a 28-year-old depressed retired player, one can only speculate that it's from head injuries.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
And then, bitch.
Yep. And then my dog will not shut the fuck up. He's actually upstairs. I'm sorry to hear that barking, guys.
It's all right.
Dan, shut the fuck up.
I apologize, guys. So anyway, breaking news out of Montreal, and that is the Quebec government. Yeah, would you believe that? The Quebec government will allow Montreal Canadiens to increase the capacity for the conference finals to 3,500 people, which is at 16% of the capacity at the Bell Center in Montreal for Game 3 against the Vegas Golden Knights.
Good. Finally.
Nobody give a fuck.
I know, coming from a Leafs fan. I know, fuck you. Go sit down. I know you're pissed. Anyway. So
I don't really care. I don't know why you brought it up. I don't understand why anybody cares about what they increased their fucking fan base to. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's all.
What?
Here we go. Oh God.
Yeah, Adam always comes into the show and he wants us to kiss his ass when we have something that we need to say.
No, I'm just asking, how's that news? There's nothing towards the sport other than more people that are allowed in the stadium. Wow. Big fucking deal.
Dude, listen, the Maple Leafs had that chance and they fucking blew it, okay? Let's just okay.
Shut up, Beaker, you fucking retard. Here we go.
Here we go.
What are you gonna do?
Here we go.
What are you gonna do?
I'll get the popcorn.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Save me some.
Yep.
Save me some.
Yeah. So, Tom, remember a few weeks ago, and I know Andy and Sean were actually on the show when we talked about this. Is the Iowa Heartlanders, the new ECHL team? They actually have an agreement with an NHL team as their affiliate, and it turns out to be the Minnesota Wild.
What team?
Oh. The Minnesota Wild.
What ECHL team?
Oh, there's an ECHL expansion team out there called the Iowa Heartlanders, and their logo is in the head of a reindeer with a flower. So, because they're an expansion team in the ECHL, they had to come and find a partner. And it turns out the Minnesota Wild are going to be their partner down the road.
Talking about ECHL, best team in the ECHL, the Orlando fucking Solar Bears bow down to their talent.
Yeah, isn't it the Leafs fucking ECHL team?
Yeah, the Cincinnati Cyclones, I think they're called.
Cyclones, yeah. It used to be Elmira. It used to be the Jackals. Now I think it's the Cyclones.
Yeah.
Hey, Bobby, that new team, is that like Mel Gibson's team?
Mel Gibson? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Oh!
Hard, bro.
I see what you did there. You did the fucking Braveheart.
No, if it was Mel Gibson's team, it would have been like a logo of Jesus or something.
I was so confused because I thought fucking Mel Gibson would like I don't know what's that movie that he did about Jesus Christ, whatever that was. When he was saying Mel Gibson, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then when he said Heartlanders, I said, oh, it went over my head. So I was thinking that it was another movie, but it turned out to be fucking Braveheart.
Hey,
so,
pretty easy to go over your head with that hairline.
Oh, shut the fuck up. At least I have hair, unlike Sean.
Here we go.
Oh gosh, this again.
Yeah.
Don't be alarmed because Bobby does this every time. When he can't come back at me, put it off on somebody else.
I know. He does it every time. I don't really care.
I got a little bit of hair here.
Oh boy, we actually have some breaking news coming out of Elliot Freeman, and then
what is it, Bobby? What is it?
Elliot Freeman is reporting on Sportsnet during the intermission that Rick Tocchet is going to have a third conversation with the Seattle Kraken, which boasts that he is going to be the heavy favorites, as well as former New York Rangers head coach David Quinn is in the mix as well. And he has also had a good interview with them as well.
Not a third conversation. Holy shit, breaking news. Oh, my God.
Jack Eichel for 50 cents.
Oh, my God.
I just wanted that out there. And then
I have an erection right now. Oh my God!
If
only tell me more about that Tocchet conversation, bud.
Come on, keep going. I'm almost there.
Or just don't.
That is really fucking weird. I'm just gonna put that out there now. Oh, keep going. Oh my God.
Moving on.
The Columbus Blue Jackets have named former NHLer Rick Nash as their director of player development.
Oh, okay, I'm good.
Hi, Kim.
Hey, Kim. All right, we're good with hockey. So as far as now, let's talk about baseball because I promised Trevor we would talk about this on the show, and here we are.
Absolutely. And right before we
go for it, Trevor. Yep. I want to hear this because because I cannot stand that guy too. So go ahead. Yep. The floor is yours.
Right before Trevor takes the floor. Yeah, right before. 1 second. 929-56099. Go ahead, Trevor.
If I could have the floor for just 3 minutes, it's all.
Hey, wait, Trevor, please.
All yours.
Please.
As you can see, I got I'm a Houston Astros fan. They have, in the past, gotten themselves into some sticky shit with illegal sign stealing and cheating. But guess what, guys? Breaking news, they're not the only team that was cheating back then. Mind blown. I haven't said on this show before, ever, especially even episode 7, if you want to go back and look at that one. But Ryan Spader, MLB insider, has basically expose all the skeletons that are in each team's closet. 2015, this one involves Bobby's Mets. The Royals were the first team to use full analytics and a video department by their dugout and using cameras to steal signs in 2015. Coincidence? They won the World Series that year against the Mets. They eliminated the Astros in the divisional series, eliminated the Blue Jays in the championship series, beat the Mets in the World Series.
Goddammit!
How about that? The New York Yankees had a more elaborate scheme in 2017.
Oh, here we go.
Having three cameras, one in left field, one in right field, one in center field. They were all pointing at the pitcher's glove rather than the catcher to pick up the pitcher's grip on the ball to determine what pitch was coming next. The LA Dodgers had an employee who was caught setting up cameras at Minute Maid Park during the World Series in 2017. He was a guy who was undercover wearing an MLB polo shirt when he should have been wearing a Dodgers polo, setting up cameras in the outfield. And my whole thing with Rob Manfred is nothing will happen. This guy literally involves politics in every single scenario. He moved the All-Star game out of Coors Field, which would have been the ultimate home run derby park. Moved it to Atlanta, I believe, because of the voter ID thing, and that's a whole nother topic. Like, Manfred loves his politics, and at the same time, he's done talking about this sign stealing thing and using technology. He has been berated from Astros fans and from Yankees fans and Dodgers fans so much that he's done talking about this. So what he's going to do is he's going to sweep the Royals cheating under the rug, no punishment, just like he did with the Red Sox. He's going to sweep the Yankees under the rug and the Dodgers, because the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Red Sox, let's just face it, they're the MLB's moneymaker, and the Astros will be the ultimate scapegoat of this sign-stealing, cheating scheme, and they're going to be forever ridiculed for what they did, even though multiple teams in this league are doing it. The Astros get the butt end of many jokes, of asterisks, of garbage cans, of cameras, all that stuff, and I'm just pretty pissed off about it. Manfred's a clown, the MLB is corrupt, and that's all I got to say. And I know Sean is a big advocate for the I hate Rob Manfred train. Give me your thoughts on this whole situation, man.
Okay, so let me just go back to the All-Star game part of it, because honestly, I didn't even know anything about the All-Star game until this whole news broke out. Yep. And seeing as how it was going to be in Atlanta, I was looking forward to it. I was literally looking forward to it. I live a half hour from Atlanta, for crying out loud. I've never been to an MLB game in my life.
Right? It was supposed to be in Atlanta, then they moved it to Colorado. Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know what, I need to stand up for this. Excuse me, gentlemen.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my gosh.
He's going to break something.
Gotta go on.
Break the chair.
Go for it, bro. Oh, yeah. Sean, one more thing. Adrian Beltre was involved in some sort of cheating in 2017 with the Texas Rangers. And guess what? They were so bad in 17 that they didn't even need to bring it up. The Texas Rangers are the only team that I think can cheat and still suck. Like, honestly, they should be called the South Oklahoma Rump Rangers, because they don't deserve to represent the entire state of Texas, the great state of Texas. But go on.
You know what? Maybe that's why he's putting the Astros under the bus, because they're in Texas.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So, all right. Here's the thing. Now, I really don't want to get political about it, but it ties in perfectly. Basically, I'm sure you guys have. We've all heard about it already, but the audacity, this sorry excuse of a commissioner to move the All-Star game from Atlanta to Denver over a false narrative. In the process, costing Atlanta $100 million that would have gone to every black small business in that area.
Go off, bro. Go off.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what else to say about it. This is I oh man, it really ticked me off.
The way
like
he
I said,
handles politics and taking away and punishing teams for cheating when every team in this league is trying to get an advantage. They've been cheating in baseball for actual decades. The 1919 World Series was fixed in the Chicago Black Sox thing. That whole scandal. Cheating's been going on for over 100 years. But just the way that Manfred's been handling this stuff from the past 5 to 10 years, like taking away draft picks from the Astros, but giving the Red Sox a slap on the fucking wrist and not doing anything with the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Royals, obviously now, and the Texas Rangers is just, I mean, what a corrupt fucking league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a big fan of blue states these days.
Yep, I'd say so.
But but I got to give credit to the Atlanta Braves because they didn't stand for it, because they legit got screwed over because of a false narrative. And you know what? That right there made me an Atlanta Braves fan. They're now my second favorite team in the league.
Underrated.
I'm done ranting.
Underrated team too.
I'm done.
That freaking Ronald Acuna Jr. guy. Oh my God, he's a freaking beast.
Man, I got to get me a freaking Braves jersey ASAP.
Yeah, Bobby, thoughts on what happened in 2015 between the Royals and the Mets? I mean, technically, Houston was just copying what they were doing. They were cheated first out of anything. The American League Divisional Series, Astros lose to the Royals. And our local Buffalo Blue Jays eliminated in the championship series by these Royals. And how do you feel that none of this, like no punishments, most likely no punishments are going to happen because the MLB made that guy who works for the MLB delete all those tweets and apologize?
I don't even know where to begin with this, because I always thought that the Royals, I mean, I remember the 2015 World Series in the back of my head, but here's my argument. The Mets were so good in the playoffs that year. We all remember this. I mean, they took out the Dodgers, they took out the Cubs, and then, unfortunately, they lost to the Royals. And I said, okay, I accept it. But then now this comes out, that just pisses me off, because now it just further proves that the Mets should have won the World Series over the Royals. And that's just being legit honest.
And what was great about what the Mets did that series was they beat Chase Utley's dirty cheating ass out of the championship series. Fuck that prick. I hate Chase Utley. I hate the whole Dodgers team. But the fact that you can have guys like Cody Bellinger and Aaron Judge stand up on a podium and talk all this shit about what the Astros did in 17 when they were doing the exact same fucking thing. Like, I hate it. Doesn't sit well with me. Especially Bellinger talking about how Altuve didn't deserve the MVP while he's out here setting up cameras in Minute Maid Park. Fuck out of here, bro.
Hey, that didn't help the Dodgers win in 2017.
Didn't help them, obviously, because it was a battle between two cheating franchises and who was the better team. But I think in general, they're all trying to get an advantage in an illegal way. And I don't think the Astros are the only team that was using some form of relaying signals from a camera to a monitor to the field. And obviously, the whole Twitter fiasco, the whole dropping nukes on Twitter yesterday with the Dodgers, Rangers, Yankees, Royals, it just proves my point that the Astros weren't that team. Like, they weren't the only team to, do this egregious sin.
In a nutshell, in some sort of sense.
Well, how about that Vladdy Guerrero Jr. guy? He's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Did you see what he did yesterday in Buffalo?
Yes, I saw that. That was insane.
Somebody was stopped at a red light on the 190, and during batting practice, Guerrero hits it over the backstop, and it goes through the passenger window.
Oh, yeah. I saw an article about that.
Yeah, not the first time it's happened at that stadium either.
Did you hear what happened?
Wow.
The Blue Jays reached out to that driver, and they're paying for that insurance 100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you better.
You should.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry, I cranked it into your fucking car window.
Right.
Yeah,
I
I'm inside of the stadium, and I accidentally hit the ball fucking 40 feet below.
Right.
Yo, but that driver's got a souvenir home run ball and batting practice from Vlad Guerrero Jr., and he's getting his car paid for by the Toronto Blue Jays. That's going to be a great story to tell.
Yep. And isn't that the same game? And correct me if I'm wrong, Trevor, because I haven't watched the Jays game in like whatever. But isn't Josh Allen supposed to be doing the opening pitch tonight?
He did that tonight, and he threw an 87-mile-per-hour heater.
Yeah.
They had clocked him on the radar, and I don't know if you're familiar with Trainwreck Sports.
Yes.
But they had an over-under 87.5 miles per hour. He threw it right at 87.
Oh, gosh.
Thinking that he throws those kinds of passes to Stephon Diggs and Emmanuel Sanders on a nightly basis. Holy crap.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it really makes you think, like, what can these NFL quarterbacks, how fast can they throw a baseball?
Well, Josh Allen did play baseball when he was in high school, so it makes sense why he was able to do that.
Did he put it over the plate, though? Did it go over the fucking plate?
I think it was on the inside corner. It would have been called a strike. Just on the inside corner.
I mean, it's certainly better than Dr. Fauci's pitch in the Nationals game last year.
He's a fucking bum.
Yeah, but anyway, let's move on. So, yeah, there's a lot to break down. So I think is that the last of what you have, Trevor, as far as the Astros? Do you really have it out of your system?
Yep. Just let me say, the Astros are not the only bad team. The Royals are bad. Yankees are bad. Dodgers are bad. How about this? All 32 teams, even the Marlins, the fucking Orioles, and all these other shitty teams, they're all trying to get an advantage too. Hell, look at the Texas Rangers. Absolute dog shit, piss poor in 2017, and they were trying to cheat and still sucked. Every team is trying to get an advantage. That's all I got. Astros are not the only bad team.
Did anybody see that fucking video of the AAA pitcher or whatever it was? And the fucking guy was like striking out like 10 guys. And the fucking coach from the other team made the umpire go out and look at his glove.
Yeah. I did see that.
He was looking for tar sap inside his glove. And
what about Garrett Cole's interview when he was asked, do you ever use spider tack? He's like, I don't know how to answer that. I'm like, bro, it's a yes or no question.
Right.
Guilty as charged.
That was like fucking Trudeau when he answers the question. He's like, well, our government's doing the best we can. Even when you ask him, like, what's the price of oil, Justin Trudeau? And he's just like, well, we're doing the best we can for the people.
What's oil? What's oil?
That's a fucking retard.
Yeah, that's all I got for baseball. I'm going to get too heated because I get into spider tack. I'm going to be talking about Bauer, going to be talking about Cole, going to be talking about Tyler Glass now. I'm done talking about baseball right now.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not even giving two shits about baseball this year because of the fact that, you know what really killed it for me was the fact that Governor Cuomo had the balls and the audacity to ask for a vaccine passport to go to a fucking Mets game. That was what killed it all for me.
Geez, man.
I went to a couple Blue Jays games in Buffalo this year, and I had to show my proof of vaccination every single time. I'm like,
that's so bullshit. They shouldn't be asking you that to begin with. But let's not get into politics. But at the end of the day, it's bullshit. We all know that. And then it shouldn't even be happening to begin with. But I'm sure it'll all change by 2022. That's what I think.
I hope so.
Because
I really hope so.
So I just found out the New York Jets are not going to be asking for proof of vaccination or for anything for that matter. So anybody can go to the Jet game this year.
Cool. Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that means now I get to go to the freaking Bills-Jets game in November with my fiance.
Good.
Nice.
The only bonus I have is here in Canada, like they're not asking yet to like give proof of vaccination, but being an ex-service person, I don't have to give shit.
You shouldn't have to give anything in general. That's nobody's business.
No, I don't have to give anything. If they come up to me and say, hey, I need you to give proof of vaccination, I can literally just tell them to go fuck themselves and just walk past them. So
Yeah, I haven't been asked that yet. I just kind of just go into the grocery store and just pick up what I want. That's all I do.
There you go.
Because apparently New York State, in quotation, actually reached, I don't believe it though, but the state of New York reached the 70% of herd immunity. I don't know if anybody heard that or not.
Only a matter of time.
Yeah. Well, the only reason we did it was because Cuomo's daughter is supposed to get married tomorrow. But again, I'm not going to get into it. I'm just saying how it is. But I did. I know. I sound like a hypocrite, but
is his daughter hot?
I don't give a shit. Fucking asshole.
I do want to see his daughter right now.
Well, you could make your choice. Either you could go for the one that's a queer, or you could go for the one that's marrying a judge.
God.
Jesus. God. All right. By the way, Bobby's seen that. And hey, can you show me a picture of Cuomo's daughter so I can
three of them, so you're gonna have to really pick.
Okay, well, show me 3 pictures. I want to see who's hot and who's not.
Who would have a child with Cuomo anyway? Nonetheless, 3.
I wanted to know if there's something I can bang or something I want to bang in that line.
Yep.
All right, NFL. What do you guys say instead of talking about this piece of crap Cuomo?
Oh boy.
We actually have a lot to talk about with the NFL because I actually want to get down to that. But I'm actually in the middle of sending a picture of Andrew Cuomo's daughters to Adam because he's like, oh, let me go over to New York State and
I need to see this.
So, guys, Houston Texans, a dumpster fucking fire, huh?
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson.
He's going to Denver. He will go to the Broncos. Guarantee it.
He should have been a Panther.
Yeah, he should have been.
Well,
really should have been. But I think he's going to Denver because he's getting a bunch of recruitments over there. When everyone in Denver is like, we want Deshaun, we want him. I'm like, he should be a Texan, but you guys don't know how to give him. You're giving him the Jack Eichel treatment.
Oh my God. Hey, you know what? 2 out of 3, I definitely smash. That other one is disgusting.
There's your ruling right there. There's your ruling.
The one in the middle, though. The one in the middle. Oh my God.
Bobby.
The one in the middle. Where? You mean the other one is gay, Bobby, not queer. Gay.
Yeah, it's the same fucking word. Get over it.
But the one in the middle is probably the hottest fucking one. God damn it.
Jeez.
Oh God, Adam, I love you, man.
So, guys, here's a genuine question I have.
The football.
With Carson Wentz coming into the AFC South, the Tennessee Titans acquiring Julio Jones, who wins the AFC South?
Jacksonville.
Get the fuck out of here, Jacksonville.
Are you serious, dude?
Get the fuck out.
Still winning the AFC South? You some of Adam's stash?
Come on, they have Trevor Lawrence.
Did you see his first outing in training camp?
Dude, I still think that Trevor Lawrence is going to be a fucking bust.
Dude, his first outing in training camp hurt his hamstring and threw 2 pick sixes against the Jaguars' backup DBs.
I said it. What about Zach Wilson? How's he doing?
I haven't checked yet, but I know Tua Tagovailoa had 3 interceptions.
He threw 7 total.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is going to get his ass handed to him like Andrew Luck did his first year.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Growing pains.
Not a fan of that comparison, but you know what? It could be true. Could be true.
Oh, we're not saying
but there's only one quarterback that I actually want pain and suffering to happen to in this league.
Who?
Just one. That would be. Oh God! Hold on.
I honestly think
Darnold.
I'm gonna say Tennessee probably wins the AFC South.
I was just gonna say that too.
Indianapolis will finish a game or a half a game behind and get a wild card spot. I don't know about Carson Wentz. Like, I still don't. Is Carson Wentz going to be good? I don't know. I was more confident in Phillip Rivers than I am in Carson Wentz, but we'll see. Time will tell.
Well, can I confess something? You know, I was completely joking with you about the whole Jacksonville Jaguars winning the division thing.
Thank God. Thank God.
No, but my real winner is the Tennessee Titans. I think that.
Yep.
I want Sam Darnold to break his neck on the first play of the season.
Oh, man.
What?
Dude, you hate Sam Darnold, don't you? Adam, unleash the hate on him if you don't like him, man. Here, we'll give you the floor for 3 minutes.
Who in their right fucking mind would say, hey, you wish pain on your own quarterback, but I wish pain on that quarterback.
Adam, I'll get Andrew Luck on the line. I'll convince him to come back to Indy. You guys can have Carson Wentz.
All right, that works. I'll take it.
Are we going to turn Sam Darnold into Hector Concarney after all this, since he wanted to break his neck?
I prefer to turn him into a goddamn vegetable. Yes.
Does anybody remember that show when they were little? I know Trevor might. I don't know if any of you else have.
Say it again?
Remember that show, Evil Concarney?
I don't think so.
I think I heard of it. I don't remember.
Okay, let me put it this way. It was the guy who made The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, but then he had another show, but it was called Evil Concarney, and it was about a billionaire who dies in an explosion, and the only thing that survives is his brain and his...
Oh, yes!
Wait, didn't WWE do that?
Okay.
Where Vince McMahon got blown up in a limousine?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
7.
This guy, Sean, Hector Concarney?
I remember now, yep.
But you're missing my point, though. I don't want his brain to work either. I don't want anything about him to work.
Yeah, he wants him to be like totally brain dead.
Yeah, like a living vegetable.
Oh, man. You want to go comatose, huh?
Dude, I watched any of the fucking videos of him and fucking just throwing the ball. He looks like a fucking 67-year-old fucking grandmother in a goddamn fucking with a walker and hoping for someone to help him throw the ball. He looks terrible.
Holy shit! Go off, bro.
Dude, you have to see the first episode when we first brought this up. He was just not having it.
Well, you know what? If Indianapolis got Sam Darnold over Carson Wentz, I'd probably be like, okay, maybe this is something they can work for. But like that was the top two that they were narrowing it down between. The whole Jimmy from the Colts, Andrew Luck fake text thing, that was never anything. Do you guys remember that from like February? Where they're like, Andrew has a meeting with Jimmy with the Colts, and that ended up being like totally fake. And then they were just narrowing it down between Carson Wentz and Sam Darnold. I was like, dude, you pick your poison. I don't give a shit who you pick out of those two. I didn't want either one of them.
What do you mean you pick either one? Are you fucked?
Dude, Carson Wentz is coming off of a season where he got benched for a second-round rookie fucking quarterback who was terrible.
I understand that, but look at Sam Darnold. What's he coming off? What's his fucking excuse?
I think he's a decent quarterback that was stuck on a toxic team with a toxic fan base. God. I guess you can say the same about Carson Wentz, but
no. Because I looked at lots of plays that he was involved in, and 95% of the time, Sam Darnold was wide open and protected. He has the same fucking statement to say that I was never covered, I was never fucking protected. But if you look at some of the videos, my God, I could have fucking pulled at my dick, flicked it around a bit, and fucking twirled the ball on my fucking tip of my dick, and then chucked the ball down the fucking field or how much time he had.
I see what you're saying, but who was his number one receiver last year? Braxton Berrios. Who the fuck is that?
If it takes you that long to get the ball off, you shouldn't be a quarterback.
Braxton Berrios was their number one target.
Last year, his number one receiver last year was actually Jamison Crowder, believe it or not.
Wasn't he injured a lot, too? Like, you didn't play half the season or something?
Yeah, he missed half of the season, then came back. And it's funny because Jackson actually just restructured his contract, and now he's going to be staying beyond 2021. But the point I'm trying to make, at least what Adam is trying to say, is Darnold never got a chance. And he still thinks he's going to be hot garbage. But listen, if the Panthers were to somehow go 15-1, even if that were the case, hell, even if they won the Super Bowl, he would probably be saying Sam Darnold fucking sucked.
Give him some weapons. Give him some weapons. He'll do some good things.
Hello, he's got plenty now.
Yeah, he does. Let him do his thing. I mean, you can make the same argument about Carson Wentz and the fact that he's got a good offensive line, but I mean, he has just been battered around this league. He's torn his ACL, concussion. Remember that whole play with was it a playoff game with what's his name, Jadeveon Clowney, and he got hit helmet to helmet in the back of the head. I think that was a playoff game, and he was suffering from memory loss like 6 months later after that. That is the Colts franchise quarterback now, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't care though. If you put him in that position that Phillip Rivers had last year when they played the Bills, by the way, should have never won that game. They were just lucky to actually win that game. But if you put him in that position where Phillip Rivers was, they would have never won that game.
No, I agree. If the Colts had good special teams in that game, they would have advanced.
They were crushing. They were crushing them in the running game. I said it to Bobby. I was watching the game with him. I'm like, man, your fucking running game is terrible. They're actually tearing you apart right now.
And if Blankenship if he hits that 35-yard field goal, the game is tied and it's going to OT. That's anybody's game at that point.
Yeah, no, they totally got fucking lucky in that game. They got so lucky, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I still remember I had the Colts losing that game by 14. Lost by 3. I was like, whatever, I'll take it. I'll count my blessings and move on.
Even people now are saying that the Bills are going to lose to the Colts in the regular season. And I'm just like, I don't know. I mean,
I'm going to that game. I'm trying to go to that game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
On another note, Christian McCaffrey in his training camp, the guy looks like he's going to be a fucking wrecking ball.
I might take him in my job's fantasy draft.
Dude, he's a monster. He's a monster.
Oh, dude, he was a monster like 2 years ago. This year, he's going to be a different animal.
Oh, dude, God, yeah. When he's fully healthy, dude's a machine.
Without a doubt.
It actually reminds me about our fantasy draft later this year.
Well, yeah, we got to make arrangements.
Yeah. McCaffrey gained 10 pounds. He gained 10 pounds. He looks like a fucking animal.
10 pounds from hitting the weights or 10 pounds from drinking beer?
10 pounds hitting the weights, bud. Look at the guy. Look it up.
That looks
I know. He's a jacked menace, bro.
Yeah. It really is.
Oh my God, you missed that.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh.
Yeah, can I say one thing?
Yeah,
sure.
I don't know if we've covered this, but Andy, you were wearing a San Francisco 49ers t-shirt.
Yes, I was.
Thoughts on trading up for Trey Lance at 3?
Loved it. That's who I wanted.
I thought it was a high risk gamble, but I see why they did it. I like the pick. I like it better than Justin Fields.
Oh, absolutely. I like them a little bit more than I like Fields.
Yeah. Fields is going to play in Chicago, toxic fan base, Ohio State quarterback. We'll see how that works out for him.
Me and Andy were like, me and Andy were calling it from like how long ago, Andy?
Jeez. I mean, that's who I wanted. I didn't care about what the fuck the rumblings were about Mac Jones. I thought it was a smokescreen. I was like, no way. They can't be going for the same type of quarterback that they already have.
Mac Jones, dad bod quarterback of the year.
Yeah, we were calling it though, like back weeks and weeks before it even happened. I was like, no way, you're getting Trey Lance. No way, you're getting him.
Yeah,
better than Jimmy, I think, in the next couple seasons.
Yep. And then, ironically enough, with the Panthers, they took J.C. Horn at the 8th overall pick. And just a few days ago, I found out they actually just gave him his rookie contract. I think it was like 4 years, $13 million for J.C. Horn as a starting quarterback for Carolina.
His dad was a beast, bro.
Oh, my God.
Joe Horn?
Horn was a great receiver.
Dude, he was a beast. I remember playing as he's on Madden 06 on the New Orleans Saints for the PS2. I still have that game. Absolute fucking beast.
He's actually a really good pick at the time. I was kind of pissed because I didn't have my Zach Wilson, and I was kind of pissed because I didn't get Zach Wilson. But after the fact, I was like, you know what, this is probably a good addition. And then I looked more into it, and I was like, you know what, this is actually a really good addition. I just don't like the fact that I still have fucking Sam Darnold, but.
Yeah. Who's their backup? Who's Carolina's backup?
Uh,
Oh my god.
damn. Who is Carolina's
Is it
backup?
still Will Greer?
I think it's
No,
Will.
or is it? Isn't it Kyle Allen?
No. Yeah, maybe. I don't
Might
even
be
know.
Will Greer. Might be Will Greer.
I think Will Greer and then Sam Darnold. I know there was another player that the Panthers had that they were looking at. I know for a fact that I read this a week ago, but I'm starting to disbelieve it at this point, is even though they have Darnold, there was talks that the Panthers are back in the race to get Deshaun Watson. But at this point, I'm just like, they're not going after Watson again. They have Darnold. They don't need to go after anybody else.
They're going after Tim Tebow, too. And then all of a sudden he went to the fucking wherever he went.
Jaguars.
You can always upgrade. Like, you can always – like, the Panthers, for all we know, could be all in on Deshaun Watson, and they could – ship out Darnold, because you can always upgrade your quarterback position.
Oh, I'm not saying they can. I'm just saying, like, in retrospect, that the Panthers
literally give him to you. You can have him for free.
I can keep him as a backup. Sam Darnold could be a good backup in Indianapolis.
Very true.
I'll take the water boy over him.
Oh boy.
Man.
Yeah, so I'm looking up now. So with Darnold and Greer are the backups, and there's one more QB. And I'm actually looking through the Panthers roster right now to see who it is. But as of now, it's looking like just Darnold and Greer. I could be seeing somebody else that was brought.
Greer, NC State product.
And PJ Walker, that's who it is. PJ Walker.
Yeah, Walker.
PJ Walker, of course. XFL legend, Colts third stringer, absolute beast.
And now he's on the fucking Panthers. Would you look at
Remember,
that?
he was a Houston Roughneck, I think, and he was just tearing it up in the XFL.
Yep, and then of course.
Well, let's start on the Panthers. Fuck Sam Darnold, put him on.
Dude, put out PJ Walker for a game. Nothing could hurt. He's a solid backup quarterback.
I'd start Austin Matthews at his place.
You probably would. I wouldn't be shocked. But yeah, so apparently there's been trade rumors going around because of the whole converted dollar thing for Stephon Diggs. There's been talks that the Bills and the Eagles are discussing a trade, and the Chargers are in the mix for Zach Ertz. And I've also heard the Panthers and Jaguars and Bengals are also in the mix as well for Ertz.
Yeah, the Chargers? Why?
Well, let's think about it. Hunter Henry's in New England. They have no tight end except for Donald Parham, and that's about it. But the report is this. Justina Anderson has reported, and I quote, that she has talked to people around the league and has found that the Buffalo Bills are still deciding on whether or not that they want to make a move at tight end. And the main reason for being that they wanted more production and consistency at the tight end position. And the Bills have been linked to Zach Ertz a few times this offseason. And he's still obviously a top option for Buffalo if they do decide to make that route. And because they converted
Hollister's the truth. Josh Allen's former teammate, he's the truth. He'll be good.
Well, let's hope so. And then recently, too, and it also came down after that report, Zach Ertz and Chargers and the Bills are linked to Zach Ertz. And the Bills have been making, at that time, they were making a noise within the last 48 hours to make a deal happen. But things could happen from now to training camp between Ertz and the Bills or Ertz and the Chargers. I mean, it's very possible at this point that he could be traded.
I kind of feel like they'll
got it.
If the Panthers are involved.
Woo!
What the fuck was that?
Me, asshole. The Islanders scored, you fuck.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, man, you know what? Fuck off.
I got the game on.
You're even watching your own hometown team. Fuck you.
I kind of feel like if the Panthers actually went after him, like I don't think that's what they don't need him. I think the Chargers need him more. So,
yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. So, I mean, it will be interesting down the road what happens with that. Oh, and speaking of quarterbacks, because we all love talking about quarterbacks, you want to hear the most embarrassing news that came out this weekend?
Sure.
Okay. Sure.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Remember how there's two things about this, and keep this in mind. Madden 21, last year's playoff loss to the Bills, that freaking pick six, it is so bad for Lamar Jackson, and he's getting a big-time extension. According to Jamison Hensley, who's an insider for the Baltimore Ravens, the most embarrassing thing about all this, and I quote, is the media is no longer allowed to film Lamar Jackson throwing a football to wide receivers.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
Give me a break.
How petty do you got to be? For real, how petty you got to be?
You can't film him throwing a ball.
Wow, Lamar Jackson really can't take it like he can.
My God.
So whenever the Ravens are playing on Sundays, that game's going to be nationally blacked out.
Yeah. What do you do?
Right?
JJ hurt or something?
Dude, like, what the fuck? Okay. You know what's really embarrassing? Is when Sam Darnold gets more film time throwing to wide receivers than Lamar Jackson.
Dang, that says a lot.
Well, Lamar Jackson's a fucking overrated running back anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, at that point, I would be like, holy shit. And yeah, John Harbaugh was hosting up with the Ravens media. It's like, oh yeah, Lamar Jackson's going to get a big-ass contract. It's like, well, based off of what that fucking report just came out to be, it's like, you're now afraid to film your franchise quarterback not throwing to wide receivers. What the fuck does that tell you?
That obviously shows that you are not confident in him whatsoever, and he's not your franchise guy.
Thank you.
Even people who said Josh Allen was a running back, and look at him now. He's throwing balls to Stephon Diggs and Emmanuel Sanders from left and right, and he's throwing it confidently. I mean, granted, I love the guy, and I've learned to grow to love the guy, but look at Lamar Jackson. The guy won fucking league MVP like almost 2 years ago, and now look where he's at. You can't even film the guy.
Well, obviously, Josh Allen has much better weapons than Lamar Jackson ever had, but holy shit, Lamar Jackson is the most overrated fucking quarterback in this league. Yeah. And I still can't believe that he got on the cover of Madden that 1 year. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that was Madden curse lives on.
Yeah, speaking of Madden curse, do you see the new reveal cover for Madden 22?
So stupid. So stupid.
Oh, my gosh.
Dude, Brady and Mahomes.
It's not even worth it.
How about this? Crazy idea. You give the Madden cover award to the actual MVP and I don't know, Aaron Rodgers.
There you go.
You stupid fucking morons. Who's gonna put Mahomes and Brady next to each other? Oh yeah, they went to the Super Bowl. Big deal. Like I have to see him on the cover of Madden for another year. Brady was on it in 18. Mahomes was on it in 20. Now we gotta see them both at the same time. Like put Rodgers on the freaking cover. When was the last time a Packers player? No, Brett Favre and who? Brett Favre was on it 1 year in like 09 or some shit, and then Aaron Rodgers has never been on the cover of Madden, I don't think.
I don't think, honestly, I would not put Aaron Rodgers on the cover of Madden, only because of I'm a firm believer of the Madden curse. And anybody who's ever been on the cover of Madden, for those who don't know, gets injured or they miss out an entire time of like games and stuff like that. Like there's always something shitty that happens to these people whenever someone's on the cover of Madden. I mean,
Patrick Mahomes.
I have a candidate to put on the cover. Sam Darnold.
I have a better one. You know what's really interesting? Before that cover came out, there was talks that Derrick Henry was going to be on the cover of Madden 22.
Makes sense. That makes sense. Best running back in the game. Put him on there.
Oh, I can test that. I can test that in a heartbeat.
Christian McCaffrey, right?
Yeah, I put them head to head. See who's the best.
Do not
Jonathan Taylor.
Do not ever put Christian McCaffrey on the cover of a Madden game. Ever.
DeForest Buckner.
I kind of feel like, though, if you put Henry and fucking McCaffrey together on like one team, you have the most ultimate force of running backs ever.
You probably
put Michael Pittman Jr. or DeForest Buckner.
Sam Darnold on there. Just kill him already.
You want to put him on. Listen, the hatred for Darnold on Adam's perspective is like trying to put a dog on morphine and just put him out of his fucking misery after getting hit by a car.
Oh my God.
Man,
no, it's like I have most hated people in my life. It's like one is Justin Trudeau, two is Sam Darnold, and three is my ex-girlfriend.
Wow, that's a very specific list.
Yeah.
There's
a number three, and I understand number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, number two would be Sam Darnold. My ex, like of my kids, she's at like a number three. Number four would probably be Bobby.
Wow!
Make the list.
Fuck you!
Well, Matt would understand that reference. I had to throw a WWE reference from Jericho in there.
I don't know.
Oh man.
Hey Bobby, just know that when shit goes south, like when it comes to the world, I'm gonna find you, and I have lots of skills and guns.
I have a gun too, so it doesn't really matter.
You have a fucking BB gun.
Yeah, I also have a double barrel shotgun.
Okay, well I have a fucking M16A4. You have one of those?
Well, I'm not a zombie, so you don't have to do shit.
I thought we were talking about football.
Right?
Yeah.
Now we're talking about Bobby. No worries. Something.
Talking about Bobby's shotgun.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, so the CFL will be having a full season on August 5th in a 14-game regular season.
Yeah, Edmonton Elk, baby. Edmonton Elk Nation.
Go Edmonton Elk. No.
That's such a stupid name. I'm sorry.
Let's go.
Fucking CFL.
God.
Or the fucking Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Right?
What about the fucking Toronto Argonauts?
Montreal Alouettes.
Or the fucking Ottawa Red Blacks.
Who?
Ottawa Red Blacks.
Ottawa Red Blacks. Never heard of them? Yeah.
You know, they fucking denied the fucking Eskimos because their team was like a racist name, but then like Ottawa Red Blacks is okay.
And then the BC Tiger Cats or some shit.
Cat.
Calgary Flames.
That's hockey.
Calgary Stampeders.
Ah, dang it.
Stampeders.
You see how long? You could tell I haven't seen the CFL in a long time.
It's okay. That's what we're here to help.
Canada has, for fuck's sake.
Elk Nation. Gonna win it. They're gonna win it all this year.
I'm going full on elk. The Saskatchewan Rough Rider sounds like Bobby's mom.
She is a rough rider,
gosh.
I do say.
How many teams
She
are
is
even
one
in
hell
this
of a rough
league, though?
rider.
Like 8, right? I think like 8 teams.
No. Okay, so there's the Montreal Alouettes, the Toronto Argonauts, the Elk.
3.
Montreal Alouettes.
BC, that's 4. Calgary, 5.
Adam's dirty pubes is 6.
Winnipeg, 6.
Bobby, look it up for fuck's sakes. We'll have to think. I'm too
Probably
hot.
6. Or no, Saskatchewan, 7. Probably 7.
Rough Riders. There's like 8 teams. There's got to be another team.
Okay, I'll look it up for you now.
Is there a team in nope. I'm trying to think. Is there a team in like another team in Manitoba?
Okay, here we go. It's the Hamilton Tiger Cats, the Montreal Lads, the Ottawa Red Blacks, the Toronto Argonauts, the British Columbia Lions, the Calgary Stampeders, the Edmonton Elks, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
That's like 9.
The Stampeders was the team we were missing. One of those teams we were missing.
Hamilton. We forgot about them.
I have a feeling
No, we didn't. We already said those. The Stampeders we were missing.
I have a feeling the CFL is going to have a expansion team.
Why? Nobody watches them. Nobody watches them. Not even Canadians watch this shit.
Well, wow. Okay, that's very harsh. But okay. Anyway, so let's move on. So apparently, according to Ashley Rowe, I don't even know who that is. I assume she's a newscaster in Buffalo.
Yep,
Ashley Rowe,
news anchor for WKBW Channel 7.
No, 7.
Formerly from Toronto, who used to anchor at CTV Toronto.
Oh, God.
Well, anyway, she's in the news this week, and it's because she says in a report just in from the New York State Department of Health, a spokesperson tells her that Highmark Stadium is deemed an outdoor venue, meaning that it can operate at full capacity without restrictions for the Buffalo Bills games, and the state would require masks for unvaccinated fans following the CDC guidelines.
Wow, how long did it take them to figure out that, yes, indeed, Highmark Stadium is an outdoor stadium? Very good.
For real. I mean, you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell from. Good gosh.
Wait a minute. So, okay, this is the part that confuses me. Why is it that the Bills are asking for non-vaccinated people to wear a mask, even though probably no one's going to do it, versus the Jets, who I just found out is not going to be requiring it? How does this work?
New Jersey versus New York. New Jersey versus New York.
Exactly.
Unbelievable, man. It's a still the rules are so fucking stupid. I'm just saying.
Yep.
I understand why everybody's getting so butthurt because this is government and this is how it works, right? It works like like in Canada, we get 2 shots of vaccines in Canada. We still have to wear a fucking mask. Why is that?
Control.
Yep.
Exactly. It's all about power. No, but no, I'm not. You know what? I'm not gonna fucking get into the part of, politics and shit like that because it's not worth my time or effort. But at the same time, if you're gonna complain about what's happening, it's because certain states want certain control and certain states don't. And don't be surprised when it happens.
Yep. And then go from there, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense because Cuomo and Phil Murphy are really good friends, but 2 different states, like Trevor said, so it's whatever. So I guess we're already down to the second to last topic for the night because I know Tom's been kind of a fucking mouse in the corner, just waiting for me to shut up for a little while, even though I'm not the host of the show.
Stadium.
Yep. So the USFL is coming back next spring in 2022. We already covered this. However, the USFL or the Spring League, whatever you want to call it, has filed a total of 28, count that, 28 trademarks for different names. And the names that they filed a trademark for are the Austin Gamblers, the Austin Outlaws, the Austin Renegades, the Austin Wranglers, the Austin Stallions, the Arizona Wranglers, the Baltimore Stars, the Birmingham Stallions, the Boston Breakers, the Chicago Blitz, that's a classic, the Dallas Stallions, the Denver Gold, the Houston Gamblers, that's another fucking classic, the Jacksonville Bulls, the LA Express, the Memphis Showboats, the New Orleans Breakers, the New Jersey Generals, bring back Donald Trump, please, the Oklahoma Outlaws, the Orlando Renegades, the Philadelphia Stars, the Pittsburgh Maulers, the Portland Breakers, the St. Louis Invaders, the San Antonio Gunslingers, the Tampa Bay Bandits, and the Washington Federals.
Beat me the Denver Gold and the San Antonio Gunslingers. Those are the best names ever.
Yeah.
Well, they were all filed by the USFL, considering they are coming back next year.
And yes, definitely, please bring back freaking New York Generals, please.
Yeah, I am really liking this too. Really liking it.
Only if Donald Trump is the majority owner.
What about the Tampa Bay Bandits? They used to be a USFL team. Tampa Bay Bandits and the Philadelphia Stars.
Yeah. So the USFL, I mean, I don't know how they're going to do against the XFL because they're all coming back at the same time, but we'll see what happens in 2022 with how things have come about with those guys. That's all I'm just going to apply it to be. That's the best way I could put it. And
hey, Adam.
What? Adam. Hey, asshole.
Tommy.
He's probably in the corner jerking off. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, he's passed out after smoking too much.
What would you like?
Oh, hey, there you are. What's up?
I was going to say the Gamblers or the Gunslingers.
Fuck yeah, the Gamblers are cool. They used to have the Houston Gamblers. Now, what'd you say, the Austin Gamblers?
I think I said. Let me go check. Let me just double check on you, and then
used to be Houston.
We'll go from there.
Yeah, it used to be in Houston.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say, Trevor? The team
Houston Gamblers. It used to be in Houston, at least.
Yeah, Houston Gamblers, which is ironic because Jim Kelly played for them.
That's pretty sick. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, you didn't know about that before he was about to sign a contract with the Bills when he first got drafted. Because if you look at the story, you can just look it up yourself, Trevor. It's on ESPN on YouTube. There's a clip that's like 5 minutes long, and Jim Kelly didn't want to play for the Bills. He was giving out a list of who he didn't want to play for, and he ended up going to Buffalo. And just as he was about to sign a contract, the secretary fucked up the section, and Bruce Allen, the GM of the Chicago Blitz at the time, got in contact with the Bills and said, we want to talk to Jim Kelly and we want to give him more money. And sure enough, he goes to the USFL and they said, Jim, you can play for anybody you want. And he said, I'm going to go play for the Houston Gamblers. And then the next thing you know, the stadium folds or the league folds, and then he goes back to Buffalo and you know the rest.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's a really interesting story to think of it as a perspective. But what do I know?
Houston Gamblers legend Jim Kelly. Absolutely.
And Herschel Walker played for the New Jersey Generals.
Yeah.
Oh, New Jersey. My bad. I thought it was my bad. I thought it was New York.
Yeah, I never got a chance to watch the USFL, but glad now I'm able to next spring. So I'm interested in how they do as far as advertising and as far as marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, all right. So we are down to the last topic of the night, and that is the Chicago Bears are destined and they are desperate to get out of Soldier Field. And reports came out today saying that the Chicago Bears have submitted a bid to purchase the land at Arlington International Racecourse, which is indicating that they are seriously interested in moving on from the historic Soldier Field. And then, of course, the radical leftist mayor, Lori Lightfoot, made a comment about the Chicago Bears saying, quote, "I am committed to keeping the Chicago name in our football team. And like most Bears fans, we want the organization to focus on putting a winning team on the field, beating the Packers finally, and being relevant past every October, and everything else is noise."
I love how they had to say beating the Packers, knowing damn well that that's the longest rivalry in the league. Good job. Good on you for figuring that out, genius.
Yeah.
Yep. And I also have the and before we move on to the next topics, I just want to say real quick that there is a leaked conversation between Adam and Andy talking about my Beaker memes.
Nice. Yeah, and actually, one thing I'll throw in before we get into our very last thing for the night. So it was featured in the Sporting News, and the Bears have announced that they submitted a bid to buy the Arlington International Racecourse property in Arlington Heights, Illinois. It's an hour northwest of Soldier Field, so it's basically way on the other side of Chicago. But even better is then Lightfoot said that, oh, by the way, your lease at Soldier Field runs through 2023. And then she ended up saying, quote, "This is clearly a negotiating tactic that the Bears have used before. As a season ticket holder," which I highly doubt, "and longtime Bears fans, I'm committed to keeping the Chicago name in our football team. As most Bears fans, we want the organization to focus on putting a winning team on the field, beating the Packers, and finally being relevant past October. Everything else is noise." Well, okay, so let's break this down. Soldier Field is one of the worst fields in all of football. They have a lot of injury problems there. Lightfoot's grounds department can't keep up the field, and they can't get more than 65,000 people in the stadium when they want to have a higher capacity. So, hey, Bears, do what you got to do.
Yeah, Johnny Knox ended his career. He had a career-ending injury at Soldier Field. Former Bears kick returner / wide receiver.
Yeah, so one of the worst grass fields ever in all of football.
Like,
agreed. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, with that race course or whatever it is the Bears were putting their money on, is that a retractable roof that they want to do, or is it outdoors? Because usually, if you want to go nostalgic, you have to at least consider the idea that you want to put out an outdoor stadium in the middle of fucking Chicago in December at this point. I mean,
if it's a race course, it has to be outside. It has to be an outdoor stadium.
I mean, it could very well be. I mean, considering what the Islanders just did with Belmont Arena or UBS Arena, whatever you want to call it, that's an indoor rink. So there you have it. It's right next to the Belmont Snake. So you can do whatever you want. But the Bears, the Bears can do whatever they want. The Bears can make a retractable roof. They can keep it outdoors. They can even go with dome if they want. But I want people who are still watching, what should the Bears do?
Well, I mean, it's a historic stadium. But obviously, if the concern is selling out or selling tickets and the grass field, you could always get a new type of field. And if you want to get fans in the seats, fucking play better.
Exactly.
Well, I have a topic because I don't know anything about this, and neither do I give a fuck about it. But my topic would be, because I just noticed that fucking Andy made his username as Mitch Marner. I just noticed that like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
But, I'll put this topic at her. Do you think in your right mind, if you're a sane fucking general manager, to trade Mitch Marner? And what would you get for him?
Oh, I would say, for me, I would probably say if you're going to trade Mitch Marner, you got to trade him to Carolina. That's the only logical spot I can think of. And if you're going to trade him, the least you could get is Dougie Hamilton on a first-round pick and maybe a middle-round prospect.
Okay, I need an intelligent answer, not a stupid answer.
For a Mitch Marner, where are we trading him? First of all,
anywhere.
That doesn't matter. Where do you think he would go?
He'll go to the Rangers for it's a 1-on-1 deal. Marner for Zibanejad, straight up.
Oh my God, there's no fucking way. What planet is that on?
Okay.
You're not getting rid of him anyway.
No, I know we're not, but I'm saying realistically, like, if you were to trade, in my opinion, if you were to trade Marner tomorrow, who the fuck is screen sharing?
Oh, I am. Just to kind of give an idea of where the new stadium would be in relation to Chicago.
Oh, anyways, if you were to trade
a little ways out,
you have to trade Matthews at the same time, because Marner is nothing without Matthews, and Matthews is nothing without Marner.
Boom.
You'd have to trade both.
That's in the middle. That's in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Yep, exactly, and way on the other side of O'Hare.
O'Hare, possibly the worst airport to walk through in the history of airports.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Andy, give me the opinion, bud. Who would you?
Oh man, you gotta put me on the spot, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on the fucking spot because you made your name Marner, so you fucking might as well.
It's only fair. It's only fair.
Okay. You want Mitchie Marner to go somewhere?
No, I don't. Man, if he was, where do you think he'd go? And
jeez, well, there's a lot of teams that could use a Mitchie Marner, but to get fair value back in a player, you're gonna have to really figure out some teams, man. I could think of a couple of players off the top of my head, but I don't really have one destination. But if I had to pick, it'd either be between probably between Florida and Nashville. The player going back would be Philip Forsberg. And from Florida's, I would have to say you would have to give up. That would have to be at least a Jonathan Huberdeau.
They're not giving up Huberdeau. No way.
For a Marner?
I think any team would give up assets to get Marner, man, to be honest.
What about
you're talking about a top playmaking forward here, so you'd probably want another playmaker back for your top forward in Matthews, at the very least a two-way forward.
How about the Kraken give up the second overall pick to Toronto for Marner?
What the fuck is that?
No, that's not worth anything to me.
Why? So half of these fucking kids that are going to Michigan are going right back to school anyways.
Yeah.
They want to win a championship.
Whatever.
Marner's not going anywhere because
no.
people speculate and they'll say this and that, and I'm just like, man, if you have to get rid of both of them at the same time, and nobody has the fucking salary cap, nor the fucking players, or the assets to give up for Matthews and Marner. Nobody.
Why would anybody trade those guys? Oh, that's right, because the Leafs can't win shit. That's why they have to break the core.
Well,
I'm not saying.
I hate to break it to you, but the Sabres can't win shit either.
I know that, but you know what's even more embarrassing is the Islanders have had a lot more success in the last couple of years than the Leafs have, and that's without John Tavares.
Yeah,
that is true, man.
And the Sabres got the first pick in the wrong draft.
Dude,
yeah, that's also true.
You guys have the best. If he doesn't win the GM of the Year award, I'm beyond me. Beyond me.
What, with Lou Lamoriello?
Yeah, he should win that fucking GM.
Should have never been fired by the Leafs.
That was the stupidest thing I've ever done.
I hated the fact that Lou Lamoriello put the team in place, and then all of a sudden he just left, and it was just dumb.
Well, yeah, because he didn't want to give up the GM position, and the ownership in Toronto said to him, "Hey," or Brendan Shanahan, he just said, "Hey, Lou, do you want to move out of your GM position so we can bring Kyle Dubas?" And he said no, and that's why he left.
Yeah, no, again, dumb move. And again, if that guy doesn't win GM of the year, it's baffling me.
Yeah, I agree with you. So
I only have a well-oiled machine right now.
Yeah, it's only 2-1 on Tampa in the third, so we'll find out what happens from there going forward. But I guess, that's the last of our topics for the night, I guess.
Yeah, and actually we do have one more breaking news story, actually, and this is out of the NBA. The Dallas Mavericks are doing house cleaning. So what ended up happening, for those who do follow the team, Rick Carlisle actually stepped down after 13 seasons as head coach. And this is after 7 straight first-round eliminations. So he decided to go ahead and resign as coach. But on top of it, Donnie Nelson, who's been the GM for 23 seasons, also decided to step down. Both of them just don't want to work with Mark Cuban anymore.
Yeah, I was about to say, when is that stupid fuck Mark Cuban going to sell the team?
Yeah, exactly.
He's so rich, he doesn't give a fuck. He just hold the team on until he can't do it anymore.
Sometimes you just gotta pack up and go.
Yeah, and get this.
It's not working. It's not working.
Yeah.
Here's another reason why Nelson left. Because apparently Mark Cuban decided to channel his inner Terry Pagula, hire some type of analytics guru who supposedly knows more than everybody. And basically they said that Donnie Nelson was acting as a shadow general manager.
Okay.
So, it's Terry Pagula written all over it.
I've seen Mark Cuban's a fucking douche.
I mean, look at the fucking Maple Leafs. They can't get out of the first fucking round. I mean, pretty soon they're going to fire everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not just here that happens. It's also in Dallas, too. And they have a superstar player, Luka Doncic, who's just finished his 3rd season, and he's already getting irritated with the direction of the team. So here we go. It's like the Pagulas and Jack Eichel all over again, except in the NBA world.
One team to not sleep on over the next 10 years or 5 years or so is Denver Nuggets.
Well, I was surprised.
Wait, what's that guy?
What's his name? Nikola Jokic. He's a beast.
Yeah. Wait, what's that guy from the Tiger King where he's like that overlord druggie or something like that? He's like one of the workers in Tiger King.
Oh,
haired guy.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. I don't remember his name.
Not Joe Exotic. I'm talking about one of his employees.
Yeah, the guy with 3 teeth.
Yeah. He's like, Doc Antle has 3 or 4 or 5 wives, and then he would be like, "I don't fucking care."
Yeah. But I will say this, so sorry to break it to you, Sean, but Brooklyn's losing to Milwaukee right now.
Oh gosh, whatever.
Brooklyn won that. They had to come back to win that Game 5. That was pretty clutch.
I know.
I mean, I already kind of gave up when the Knicks lost to the Hawks, so.
Okay. Yeah, but how about the LA Clippers coming back to tie up the series with Utah?
Where's my drink?
Clutch.
Yeah.
Utah's
a powerhouse out there.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I refuse to watch the NBA at this point. They will do nothing with what their brand is. That's all I'm just going to say about it.
I'm just glad LeBron got eliminated by the Suns in the first round. That was the greatest thing ever, and then he refused to do it yet.
That was freaking awesome.
I know. I'm like, bye, LeBron. It's your ever first round exit. Thank you, Phoenix Suns, for making that happen.
Thank you.
Maybe that's why I'm wearing orange tonight.
I used to have respect for LeBron, but then I saw all his bullshit about how he's all anti-police and bullshit, and I'm just like, you're nothing but a goddamn clown. You're a fucking clown. You're absolutely a clown.
Well, you know
him doxing a Cincinnati police officer, that was the nail in the coffin for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a prima donna fucking, oh my God, look, I broke my nail, to fucking be like, oh, fuck the police. And
right.
Yeah, LeBron, if you're so anti-police, who are you going to call when I punch you repeatedly in the face?
Right.
Well, you know what? You should have been in a helicopter, LeBron, not Kobe.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow. And then, of course, LeBron, like, how about that flop he had in that series? Where he, like,
which
totally
one?
embellished that foul.
Which one?
I know.
So many.
I know.
So many.
Yeah, the one where he's like, oh, he throws himself on the floor. I'm like, come on, dude. It's like, you think the NBA is hard now. The NBA is soft compared to 20 years ago. I mean, God, when you had Stoudemire, AI, Jordan.
Oh, with Michael Jordan, you couldn't do that on him. Like, all right, you're definitely diving. I'm not going to call that.
Yeah.
I remember Shaquille O'Neal slapped guys in the face for fun when they jump up in front of him. He slapped them in the face.
Yeah, Shaq would get triple teamed. I mean, Hakeem Olajuwon was really tough as nails. I mean, he would just totally destroy players. Like, going back even further, Allen Iverson put something, and he was probably one of the best pound for pound players ever in the league.
Talking about practice.
Yeah.
Dude, do you remember that one? What's
crossovers?
The Chinese guy? What's the Chinese guy? Big tall Chinese guy.
Yao Ming?
Yeah. I remember when he first came to the league and Shaq fucking like punched him directly in his face, and the ref looked at him like he was like, "What do you want, a call?"
Right. It's like you don't get a call for that in this league. Yeah. Although,
hey, man, it's fucking basketball.
Yeah, it's like, welcome to the big leagues, son. Yeah, or how about when Charles Barkley was around? Same thing. But actually,
gosh.
Charles Barkley, man. Some of the stuff he did back in the day.
Or what's his name? Chauncey Billups, when he got fucking like power slammed on the fucking floor.
Yeah.
When he was with the Pistons at the time.
Yeah. Yep. Remember World Peace, aka Ron Artest?
Oh man!
Jumping into the stand, beating the shit out of someone.
Yeah.
that freaking malice at the palace back then.
Because somebody threw an empty cup at him.
Exactly.
Yep.
And the thing is, Artest punched the wrong guy.
He did. And then who was the other guy?
He hit the guy.
Johnson. He got the beer and popcorn spilled on him, and he tried to get away from police. In the stands. Yeah. Try to get up in the stands and fight a fan for dumping popcorn and beer on his head.
Yeah. I remember one time Scottie Pippen got so pissed off with the second technical that when he got ejected, he ended up going up and like was throwing chairs on the court and like just totally went off. I mean, it's like, you think the game's tough now. The game's not even close to tough as it was back in like the 90s, early 2000s, or the 80s, actually.
Right.
Or
if the Suns were going to win a championship, I would have thought it would be with Steve Nash and Sean Marion, not with CP3 and Devin Booker. Even though they are two great players, but I thought they would win it with Nash and Marion.
Steve Nash was like the most natural shooter there wasn't in the fucking league, man.
Yeah, pure shooter.
Dude, he was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and even looking at it now, I mean, Utah with who they have with O'Neal and Favors out there. I mean, they're really just handling business. I mean, defensively, they're one of the absolute best teams in the league. Same thing with Atlanta with Trae Young right now.
And they came out of nowhere.
Yeah. And that's a great thing. I mean, Utah actually, the Jazz had an ownership change not that long ago, but they've been quietly building up their team over the last like 5 years. They've been kind of one of those like stealth teams that just quietly starts winning games and they keep building gradually. And I mean, they've been doing a great job with it. I mean, they're actually one of my teams I really enjoy watching out in the West. But here's a good one, actually. So Larry Bird even made a comment, quote, "If I want to win, I'm playing with Kobe. If I want to have fun, I'm playing with LeBron." How about that?
I saw that.
If I want to win,
Black Mamba.
If I want to win, I'm playing with Kobe. If I want to have fun, I'm playing with Kobe. if I want to bitch and flop and cry about the police, I'm playing with LeBron James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're playing with LeBron.
I'll tell you, Bird took some really big shots in his day. I mean,
he
did.
did.
Celtics. I mean, he played in a really rough era.
So with Denver, I guess they beat the Trailblazers in the quarterfinals in 6, and they got swept by Phoenix in the semifinals.
Yeah, Phoenix, they just manhandled them because I actually watched a lot of that series, and Denver was just out of sync on everything. I mean, their defense wasn't even close to as good as it was in the first round. Offensively, they couldn't do anything. The 3-point game went to hell. I mean, it's like they gave up. And even Shaq was saying, it's like, you got to dunk on his ass. And he was actually on some of the things. It's like dunk that bitch. He actually said that on TNT. And when he was talking about some of the stuff with Charles Barkley and, of course, Kenny Anderson. Oh, Kenny Anderson's another one that was big back in the day, too. But, I mean, they're saying, he basically is telling that team, you guys are too soft.
Yeah, could you imagine Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a guy like, Goggles himself, flopping and diving? The refs would be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Get up.
Stand for that.
Right.
Like, get up. What are you doing on the ground? Just get up and play.
Right. Can you picture if Shaq was in his prime now, he'd literally be punching all these prima donnas in the mouth.
Even when Shaq was in Orlando with Hardaway and Tracy McGrady, like, he would still punch guys in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he went all up in their fucking faces every fucking time he went towards the net.
Exactly. Yeah, when you're like 7'2", 330, I mean, you can pretty much manhandle anybody you want.
The one thing he couldn't do was shoot free throws. That was embarrassing to watch.
Oh yeah. He was
Terrible.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? What are your thoughts on the Sacramento Kings?
Okay.
I know nothing about them at all.
They are the Buffalo Sabres of the NBA.
Well, the Sabres are a clusterfuck in comparison. So.
Yeah. Well, Sacramento Kings, great arena. They have all the bells and whistles. They just can't put a team together.
Yeah, they have what's that guy's name? They have De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield, but they don't know how to win basketball games.
Right.
It's kind of embarrassing.
Honestly, I forgot they were still a thing.
Did you know that they were the Rochester Royals, and then they moved in 1970? What was it, 1975? Maybe they moved from Rochester to Sacramento. Buffalo had the Braves.
Yeah,
and they moved.
Yeah, I know that one. LA Clippers. Yep.
Well, there used to be a rivalry between the Rochester Royals and the Buffalo Braves back in the day in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I would love to see is if Toronto one of these days, if the Raptors could even do a preseason game in Buffalo again, because I went to the one and only that they ever had here back in their first season. I think it was back in like 95 or 96, but I mean, it was cool. Got to see Damon Stoudemire in his rookie year.
Oh yeah.
So that was definitely
and going back to Sacramento, back when they had Chris Webber and Mike Bibby and all those other guys, they should have won a title too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think that was like 2001 or 2002 when they had that super team and they lost to Kobe and the Lakers in the conference finals. I mean, the Kings were a solid team.
Right. Well, remember when the Lakers ended up adding Karl Malone, Gary Payton for that 1 year? And then
super team. That was like the first super team. Yep.
There was no team back in the day could beat Kobe, Shaq, and fucking whatever else fucking they had.
Yeah. Kobe and Shaq, they were the super team, and they didn't even have like a whole like superstar cast like LeBron had in Miami when they purposely built the super team with him, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Birdman.
Oh, that was so annoying.
That was
all the Miami Heat fans. All the Miami Heat fans coming out of the woodwork when Bosh and LeBron went to the team and Dwayne Wade was still there. All of a sudden, you saw all these Miami Heat fans. Like, I was so surprised.
Yeah, they finally showed up. They're like, "Oh, we got LeBron. We're gonna suck off him, and we're gonna win a title or 3."
And
then you lose to the Suns.
Yeah, that was great.
Underrated champions in 13-14 San Antonio Spurs with Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that team, San Antonio. I mean, when Tim Duncan was playing for them, and I'm glad he stayed with the organization now in the coaching capacity, but Tim Duncan's one of those guys, so unassuming, but man, he would like rip you apart from like one way to another. Just with the
remember when he got thrown out of the game for laughing?
Yeah, Joey Crawford threw him out. He teed him up just because he laughed. Then he threw a second tee on him like 5 seconds later, and then Joey Crawford got suspended the rest of the season because it was an uncalled for technical.
I got comments here. The most underrated team in the last like 10 years to win the fucking NBA championship is the fucking Raptors.
Toronto Raptors.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Kawhi Leonard.
I was gonna say, what about the 2006 Miami Heat?
Yeah, screw the Heat.
No. Underrated.
That was when Dwayne Wade was a fucking monster.
Well, the only thing I remember about them is with D Wade and Shaq. That's it. I don't know anything else.
Yeah, they went on 2-3 titles.
Who'd they have? Toronto had Kyle Lowry hitting those game-tying threes at the buzzer. I mean, those were sick.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard dominated the inside.
Leonard won it.
If I, for whatever reason, ever got into the NBA, my team would probably be the Heat.
I'd probably go with the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah.
There you go.
If I had to pick one out in the West, I've always had that soft spot for Utah.
Yeah, definitely a smaller market team that's finally getting it together.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was great to see him get it back together after like 10 years of not doing much. I mean, that city's a good basketball city, too. I've been to Salt Lake before.
Well, I'd say, hold on. So,
one of my favorite players growing up when I played basketball in high school was for the Indiana Pacers, Reggie Miller.
Oh, yeah, Reggie Miller, absolutely fucking beat.
Reggie Miller, Rick Smith.
The outside.
So, wait, so everybody had a team at least. So, I would be the Heat, Sean would be the Knicks, Adam would be the Raptors, Trevor would be...
Yeah, San Antonio Spurs.
Spurs, that's right. And Tom would be
I'll take the Utah Jazz out in the West.
Utah Jazz?
Yeah.
And then what about you, Andy? Hypothetically, if you had a
How far back are we going?
whatever, I don't care. I mean, they're all bad.
Modern era, old era, whatever team you want to go with.
My old era team was the Orlando Magic.
Okay. All right, so Orlando.
Well, either San Antonio or the Houston Rockets, because fun fact, 27 years ago today was the Juices Loose police chase with O.J. Simpson on the same day where the Houston Rockets won their first title, and that whole title was overshadowed because of O.J. Simpson.
Oh, I remember that.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Right.
Nobody was talking about the Rockets winning their first title. Everyone was like, "Did you see that O.J. Simpson police chase yesterday?"
Oh, that was
big shit.
Wow.
Everything back
that
then.
whole
years
chase, that whole OJ thing was a big fucking ordeal when I was 10 years old.
Well, I remember when Jim Rome did his tour stop here in Buffalo, and he did the same thing. Jim Rome drove into Salem Field with a white Bronco and the cops following him to reenact the OJ chase scene.
Hilarious, man. All right, boys. I think that's all I got for tonight.
Yeah, me too.
Well, yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. So guys, thanks for watching. As always, we'll be back. And until then, take care of yourselves and each other, everybody. We'll see you next time.